Yes, OG Vol, welcome to the show. We got the cryptid tales, skeleton in a suit. MoKnowz never fails. We talk elections, UFOs, and paranormal trails. Fast tech, NFTs, catch the latest crypto sales. From comments to conspiracies, we dropping knowledge daily. Photo finish, horse racing, we keep the hype, you feel me? VV digital drops, market values never hazy. Stay tuned to OG Vault, the alpha here is crazy. Yes, OG Vol, welcome to the show. We got the cryptid tales, skeleton in a suit. MoKnowz never fails. We talk elections, UFOs, and paranormal trails. Fast tech, NFTs, catch the latest crypto sales. From comments to conspiracies, we dropping knowledge daily. Photo finish, horse racing, we keep the hype, you feel me? VV digital drops, market values never hazy. Stay tuned to OG Vault, the alpha here is crazy. Yes, OG Vol, welcome to the show. We got the cryptid tales, skeleton in a suit. MoKnowz never fails. We talk elections, UFOs, and paranormal trails. Fast tech, NFTs, catch the latest crypto sales. From comments to conspiracies, we dropping knowledge daily. Photo finish, horse racing, we keep the hype, you feel me? VV digital drops, market values never hazy. Stay tuned to OG Vault, the alpha here is crazy.
In the dark of the night, when the moon's hanging low, there's a place where the wildest of tales start to grow. Me know the skeleton, with his phony grin, and Vault his co-host. Let the stories begin. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast, we're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Vault are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more. Whispers of ghosts in the halls of the old, haunted by the memories of stories untold. Political shadows creeping in the night. Mo and Vault, we're shining the light. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast, we're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Vault are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got...
What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday. I got MoKnowz with me. You know what that means. It's time for Tales from the Crypto. What's up, everybody? What's up, Mo?
Hey, what up, brother? What up, chat? How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How are you doing this week?
Oh man, it has been a week. Obviously, we've had all sorts of wild stuff going on. We've had some people been on Rogan. We've had tons of crazy town halls and today I didn't know if I was gonna make it, man. My freaking router. I've been having some router issues, and today I decided to replace it. Man, have we talked about Wi-Fi 6? Like how good it is?
No, I don't even think I've heard of Wi-Fi 6.
The Wi-Fi 6, I never really had experience with it until I was on the road doing the PFL stuff, and I was staying at my boy's house for a little bit. And I was like, man, there's no way I can do my shows, 1080p, 60 frames a second. Like, I usually do anywhere from like 3 to 6,000 bit rate. I'm like, there's no way I can do this on Wi-Fi. I'm always been telling people, like, do not game on Wi-Fi, do not do this on Wi-Fi, everything, right?
Right.
Dude, Wi-Fi 6 is amazing, okay? I streamed for weeks on end without dropping a single frame, which was crazy. And I set this router up at my house, and just before we went on, I took my phone. I was 50 feet away from my house, and I had full Wi-Fi. It
Oh,
was
wow.
insane, dude. Yeah, it was crazy. I was outdoors, outside my house, 50 feet away, and it would drop like 1 bar, but it wasn't like it was hanging on. Like it was full, but just flickering out.
Yeah,
People
that's
say I
weird.
sound far away. Is that on my end?
Is that a new? Is that like a particular company that offers that? Because I've never heard of it.
No, I mean a lot of new routers have it. Most notable are like the Netgear and the TP Link.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody makes it nowadays, but Netgear is like the main gaming one. And then TP Link also uses a pretty good CPU, which is nuts that these routers have like built-in CPU chips and shit now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Shout out
But
to
yeah, man,
everybody in the
outside of
chat.
that, dude, it's just it's a week gearing up towards the election, man.
It's a big week. A lot of stuff's been happening in the news and in crypto. We're going to talk about all of it. We got Alejandro here first in the chat helping me test out the chat. We got Shankster in the building. Pokey talking about Bitcoin pumping. That's definitely going to be a topic to talk about tonight. I feel like I'm a little too loud here. We're just adjusting our volumes. We had to restart everything. Once again, restart everything. Shout out to Denny OC is here. Ahoy, ahoy, my friend. We got Woody in the building. What's up, Woody? Wop Mammoth is here. Good morning. Oh, I thought you said morning. Mowing the lawn and listening. Well, thank you for listening. Denny OC and everybody in the chat, let me know if this sounds okay. We're trying, like I said, I'm adjusting a little bit. I'm not usually this loud. Usually my mic is low. So I got to get us at the same spot so Mo doesn't sound too far away. Let us know if it sounds all right. All right, Mo, what do you think about Bitcoin pumping before we get into all the politics and stuff? Is this the beginning of a new bull run?
If it is, I'm definitely the last one to know. Again, I've been busy, off the grid, PFL, new season, breeding week, yada, yada, yada. But dude, that 70K snuck up on me. Like normally I'm getting some alerts. I got some sort of, I'm catching wind of it early, but yeah, man, I woke up and I was like, so shit about Bitcoin at 70K. I'm like, damn. So I started checking my other coins, because normally, right, you get one that's, kind of sets it off.
Right.
I really haven't had too much run yet. Chat. Yeah, we're 72K now. Damn. Oh my God. What did it run up to?
So that's a 70. Yes,
5?
there it is. Sorry, getting all set up there. I forgot to add that to our.
Wow.
Yeah, 72,373, and it's up 3.5% in today alone. I guess it went up even further. Was that yesterday? 7:20 p.m. It was up to 73,300. So,
Oh man.
what's the all-time high? I have to check. We could probably look that up. Maybe it just hit that. I don't. Maybe it didn't. I think it's pretty
Wasn't
close
it
to that all-time
76? 77?
high. Bitcoin all-time
73?
high 73,750, and apparently.
That's the all-time. So we just barely missed it yesterday. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
my
a sell
God.
wall.
Whoa. That's wild. So does that mean we're going to have a big bull run possibly? Daniel C thinks the alts are going to pump next. Yeah, well, he's right. 73. Stan says it's going to make Omi pump. Uh-oh, you don't get Mo started. Are you sure? All right, Mo. What do you think? Is it going to make Omi pump?
No. There is nothing. I don't care how many people you hire off of Twitter applications and Twitter responses. Omi's not going to the moon. Just saying. Vault, by the way, you throwing your hat in the ring for the any positions over there?
For any positions? Oh, I did see that they were hiring. No, I don't think they're going to hire the dude that they have blocked and banned to work for them. So, no.
They should. They freaking should. You know what? That would be awesome. You know what I mean? That would be. Oh man, I don't want to jump into the politics yet, but that would be like RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard linking up with Trump. You know what I mean? They need you, bro.
How's it all the right-wing people are excited about Tulsi Gabbard and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Whenever they were Democrats, they hated them. But now that
I never did. No, we've had this discussion. I told you even before he came up, I was like, I would vote for RFK Jr. if the third party would have a chance of winning.
True, you were talking into it.
I love RFK Jr., bro. I'm a huge fan.
So
Tulsi Gabbard, listen.
Tulsi, I can't mess with Tulsi. She's Russian.
If she was on the Democratic part of the ticket and she would have had that nominee, I'd have a hard time. I really would have a hard time. And again, not because of the Trump stuff, but just based on who he's got with him. Again, with RFK Jr., Tulsi, Elon, Vivek, Hulk Hogan. The list goes on and on. I know we're gonna get it. I don't want to go away, but But no, honestly, the reason why I said, like, dude, hiring you would be like the ultimate like success story. You know what I mean? I don't know if you would want that. You don't even have to say that, but
Yeah, I'm
I just
down.
feel like from their position, like you could help them, dude. Like you've always been trying to just do right by them. You know, you never, at least as far as I've known you and I watched you, until they started fucking with you, you never went out of your way to really like cause a ruckus. You know, you just got disrespected, I think, for maybe the way you carry yourself sometimes, maybe some things you say. But you know, listen, man. I respect it. You know, I've always respected you because I never really have to worry about what the hell you're thinking. You know.
That's right. You definitely don't have to worry about knowing what I'm thinking because I don't mind wearing that on my sleeve. And yeah, I was always very positive and everything about VB on my channel, but I spoke my mind on Twitter, and they didn't like that too much.
Yeah, and things that you have said weren't even as controversial as things that other people on their team have said in the past. So it's not even like, oh, well, this Vault guy is just, causing a ruckus and shit. It's like, come on, man.
Very true.
You know?
I mean, yeah, right, nail on the head. Smartbuy's got a good question here, and I've heard a little bit of speculation, especially in the VB community, about this. If we do get a bull run that's starting right now because of the Bitcoin pump, it gets followed by some alt pumps, Solana starts pumping, are NFTs going to start pumping too? Whether it be VV or like crypto punks, Bored Apes, is there going to be another cycle for NFTs, or is NFT a one-hit wonder?
I don't think they're a one-hit wonder, but I think they're a sleeping giant. And what I mean by that is, I think, and we've seen it evident by Off the Grid, I think going into this run, obviously you're going to have your normal Bitcoin, your layer 1 coins, you're going to have your main old coins that go. But I think it's going to be the gaming coins, right? It's going to be the guns token, that type of stuff, Web3 gaming. But I think the NFT part, when we get some real use case, again, whether it be VBverse or some other application, that has AR lenses where you can just see them in the real world. Again, that's the reason why I think people don't care. You mention NFT and they're like, oh, Bored Apes, overpriced bullshit. Like,
Right.
Don't care.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
But when someone can like pick up a pair of AR shades from like the mall, and then when they turn them on for the first time, there's like, hey, sign in with your Google account. Hey, we noticed you have a VB account linked. Hey, would you like to see Silver Surfer flying beside your car on the way home? Sure, that all sounds fucking fantastic, right?
Right.
So that's when people will rush to the market, and that's when we'll see things pump. Because I still don't think it's dead. I don't think it's dead. I don't think it's a fad. I just think it's gonna take some time to cook.
Let's go. We got Bullish Mo in the house tonight. Denny OC says, not gonna lie, I'm expecting a quick run before election, then probably a retrace, then hopefully January we get another good pump. Macy 100K. That was my prediction automatically for a few weeks now, that we'll get a pump running up to the election, and then if Trump wins, we'll get another pump, but if he loses, it'll dump a little bit. But then next year, probably around January, like he said, maybe February, it starts pumping again. Brood88 says they should consider Vault for a position. I don't know. Shout out to VV Vet. What's up, VV Vet? I did apply once for a VV job. It was like a year ago. Applied for, I think it was like assistant video editor, something like that. Stan says this channel's top 3. Let's go. On why VV kept the space interesting. Appreciate it, Stan. Let's go. It was number 1, but I fell off, man. My tips aren't helping anybody anymore, so people aren't as interested. Woody's in a coma. Wake up, Woody. Oh yeah, NFTs will pump, says Stan. Is it gonna have another cycle? Probably, like Mo said, they probably will have a big cycle, but I don't know if it's gonna be at the same time as alts this cycle. They might miss this cycle. Bronetti says NFTs will hit again, just not yet. Yep, need more valuable uses for them. It's all about that utility. What's up, Dan K? Let's cook. We're starting to cook. Can't be number 1.
I think I talked to you about this. I didn't cut you off, but a buddy of mine asked me. He's like, "Hey, so how's your NFTs doing?" And I don't know if he's being sarcastic when he asks me.
He is.
But he's seen how successful some of the projects I've been into have been. So I think sometimes he's actually genuinely asking, but doesn't want to be serious when he asks me.
Right.
And again, I kind of just broke it down for him. I'm like, dude, what if I just walked into your house and you had, remember the starting lineups from back in the 80s? He's like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was.
And I was like, bro, what if they had like NFT versions and you could just have it being like 3D image out in the middle of your living room, you know what I'm saying, that maybe you turn slowly or whatever, and like people walk in and they just see the shit because they got these boxes now that actually can project, these images. You know what I'm saying? We've seen them at the CES show.
Yep.
You know what I mean? No, like, and I he was like, dude, that would actually be sick. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, what the hell do you think's gonna do that? I'm like, an NFT. I'm like, you're gonna have it linked to a wallet, and you could just say, you know, I want to just rotate through all the old Yankees, the Don Mattingly, and get, you know, show some Mets on there. Let's get Alan Trammell on there from the old Detroit Tigers, right? Like, the list goes on and on. And dude, by the end of it, he was like, yo, actually, I want that. You know what I mean? So like people saying, like, gotta have that use case scenario. Like, keeping them on our phone and making our friends look at our phone screens is bullshit. You know, that's.
No, I agree. I feel like phones will eventually have projectors themselves, and it maybe be able to project it right in front of you, what you're looking at. That's another reason why I liked NBA Top Shot so much when I first got into NFT. Shout out to the Goat Slayer. What's up, Goat Slayer? Happy Tuesday. It's Tales from the Crypto Day. We got an OG in the chat, Winky Jones. What's up, Winky Jones? Good to see you.
But you know, right now, if I could do some sort of 3D projection outside my house that only AR people could see,
yeah,
you know, I would have two America Chavez right on my front lawn right now. America, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'd have some Star Spangled Banner shit going on. It would be sick.
It's Halloween. You got to decorate with some scary stuff. America Chavez is good for 4th of July.
I know, but it's election week. You know what I mean?
Good point. That's a good point. Shout out to Winky Jones. Winky, I still live stream the VV drops on the weekends. I had a good drop the other day, so if you're still going for VV drops, and I don't know if you are, if you're still collecting on the app, come by and hang out with us on the weekend. We got a couple good drops this week. I think we'll talk about them eventually. Smart Bass says VV NFTs still have potential to go parabolic. Last time we had Dirty Gems. Don't forget now we have Stacker and Dirty Omi. Wait, Dirty Omi? I don't know what you mean by that. Is there already some dirty stuff going on with Stacker and Omi? I heard it wasn't being used a whole lot. Like, no Omi was burnt in the last 24 hours because nobody was using it. Hopefully it'll bring some new crypto people in. Bernadette says, Mo just said it, 3D versions of these NFTs in your businesses or homes. Again, that's why I like that NBA Top Shot too, because I always envision being able to project that either an AR, VR, or right in front of your face, the actual basketball moment that you own, and you can only a certain amount of people will be able to use or show that exact moment because it's numbered, it's scarce. Ghost Slayer says NFT tech is the future. Forget the AR, JPEG, and digital collectible aspects. It's all about them house deeds and vehicle registrations, NFTs that'll lead to mass adoption. I mean, I think it's more like games like Off the Grid, but I never really understood the whole putting your house deed on an NFT and then putting it on the blockchain. With you're putting your house deed in your MetaMask wallet. What happens if you get wallet drained? What happens if you get hacked and your deed's an NFT? I think we talked about this before. Like, is a little nerdy kid gonna come up to your house and knock on the door and be like, I own your house now. Get out.
You know, that's a valid point. Like, it makes sense, right? So if the bank owns the house, right, and you're paying a mortgage, and the deed and everything's on the blockchain, or, you know, like, that would make sense, right? Like, it's full transparency, yada yada yada. But yeah, once you pay off the house, are they just gonna be like, all right, I need your MetaMask address? Dude, I've never actually thought about that.
Yeah.
And it's actually hilarious just thinking about it. Like you said, some dude's gonna show up, some freaking little hacker kid's gonna fucking show me a door.
No,
Like, that's my house now. You get out.
Man, that'd be crazy. Yeah, you gotta be careful about what we put on the blockchain, because everybody can see the blockchain. Like your driver's license, is that a good thing? I don't know. I know people are doing that now. Woody says they can't list Marvel, Disney, or Star Wars on Stacker. Is that how it works? I know that in the VV app, if you go to list something now, it'll say sell, it'll say put it up for auction, or it'll say sell on Stacker for Omi. And it says that for most things, but if you go to a Disney collectible, and I guess Marvel too, really, Star Wars collectibles on the app, it doesn't have that option. So I guess you're not allowed to sell those on Stacker. And I heard a little bit of speculation, I think from Superstar Money, I could be wrong. I heard it from somebody saying, what if you're not allowed to use Disney collectibles in the VV-verse? And I don't know, I'm sure, Mo, you heard that they're going to be revealing the VV-verse in 2 days on Thursday, and they already showed a little preview.
I saw a little something. So what? I can expect to get in 2029. What are we thinking?
They said they're going to give us a time frame on Thursday whenever they show us some of the features. That's what I'm interested in. We haven't really seen the features, and that's what they're going to kind of reveal Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I mean, it's from what I saw. What I saw was the most recent. it just looked like standard. Was it not Canvas? Whatever the hell that program that they're using, that metaverse app.
Oh, Cavernous?
Cavernous, yeah. It's basically just like the demo version of that.
Yeah.
So you're putting like, basic lighting. You can do like point lights or spotlights and change the color. But they did show, some like, making things spin, right? The Juggernaut, I think, was spinning. So, if you can do scripting like that and there's collision and it's not destroyed by bad networking connections, because you remember that first, video they showed where it was like, what's his face walking around and it was like all the people in the lobby and they were,
Oh, yeah.
parallel to the ground. They were flickering around. Like I can't build mini games and fun little, death runs and shit if the collision's off. And if the networking's bad and the collision's off, then I just won't even waste my time. But I could see myself in there, messing around. It's cool, man. It's a cool idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Stan says, will the Vverse update reveal be a nothing burger or everything we wished for? I don't know. Depends on what you consider a nothing burger. We don't have gamification yet, but some people say that it looks like that's what they're working on next. But also, at least it has interactivity, so I can have Mo come over to my vault and look at my 2 collectibles. And maybe we can do things like stream from the vault, I don't know, or from the showroom. Brune88
I'm telling you, man, we're gonna do it. We're gonna build the studio, and we're gonna have some sort of like crazy. I'm gonna basically recreate my old school Fortnite death run shit,
Oh, nice.
and it's gonna be like whoever gets to the top of the tower first will get a prize or something. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna do something. Trust me, there's some ideas and things we can tap into. To have some fun with it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's kind of up to the community to come up with things to do in the VVverse at some point, or at least at the beginning. Bruin says, good argument about the blockchain, but that is what a downloadable hard drive is for, or a hard wallet is for. Yeah, I still don't even have one of those. I've been doing this for like over 3 years. I know, you're right, though. Everybody should have a removable disk or a removable wallet. Kryptoni's in the house. What's up, Kryptoni? I definitely think that the blockchain is it's transparent digital ownership tool that will intricate in banking, will be intricate in banking. Home titles, gaming tokens, and fine art ownership. And like Ghost Slayer said, it's not for us. We won't have the NFTs, but the property appraisers and the DMV will hold the NFTs. But I don't know. Some of these kids can hack the DMV. Shout out to Big A's in the chat. What's up, Big A? Let's go. We're talking a little bit about the VVverse coming out. It's should be 4 p.m. on Thursday. We're going to get to see what the VVverse looks like and some of the features, a lot of the features. All right, we're about to get into politics. We're going to be talking about politics a lot today since it is the last stream before the election. And I'm not sure what else we're going to get into today. As you can see, we're rebuilding the stream, so we didn't have a whole lot set up for you. One of the things I wanted to talk about when it comes to politics is the stuff that's been happening recently with people burning the ballot boxes. Have you seen this, Mo?
Bro, yeah. What is wrong with people, man?
Bruh, what the heck? I don't know what you... Like, we never had this problem before, but now all of a sudden... with everybody...
This is what happens when people just are jacked up on Adderall playing Grand Theft Auto all the time, dude. I'm telling you. This is crazy.
The report was that it was a Vancouver box that was burned in arson on Monday morning with hundreds of ballots possibly damaged in the fire. So I wonder what happens to those ballots. Do the people get notified? They got to vote again. Investigators believe the incident is connected to 2 other arson incidents in Portland and Southwest Washington. That's like, Portland's like one of the most liberal Democrat cities in the whole country. So I don't think they're in fear of losing elections up there, especially like in Washington State. So I don't know. What do you think about all that, Mo?
I think it's sad. I think it's sad, dude. I think, I've seen a lot of sad shit on both sides, and even in the middle from these people that are, patriots, right, of our freaking country, man. Like, I don't know. It's despicable. Those people to get caught, I mean, I'd say, I'm not saying you're gonna fry them or anything, but like, you gotta hold these people accountable, Yeah,
you should definitely do like at least 5 to 10 years for something like that. But why do they not have cameras set up there? That makes no sense to me at all. I mean, you gotta have some type of security.
Well, yeah, right. That's the thing. So it's not like these ballot boxes stay out, 365 days a year before, 4 years in between election seasons, right? Like, yeah, like why not only put these ballot boxes where there's surveillance cameras? So like, if something does happen, then okay, cool. Like, grab the tape, nail them. You know, not that that's always going to be guaranteed to catch the people, but man, I don't know. Like, or do you create fireproof boxes? Like, is that even possible? Like, you know,
Same thing, you make a black box out of an airplane, right? Or in an airplane, create it with.
I know, but the ballots are in black boxes. The ballots are pieces of paper, right? So if you just like set one on fire and drop it in the ballot box, it would set everything else on fire.
Dang, good point. Yeah, that's true.
The ballot box might survive, but if
Right.
everything inside of it's just fucking ash.
And now there's people on the left saying that it was a Republican who did it. There's people on the right saying that it was a Democrat who did it.
I
And
don't
then
want to get
even
it
if it
because we know
was-
that no one's gonna know. It's irrelevant at this point. It's just it's sad. It really is sad, man.
Right, and even if you find out who did it, it could always be like a Democrat did it on purpose so that they could blame Republicans, or a Republican did it on purpose so that they can blame Democrats. There's like so many different angles at it. People are just going crazy with this stuff, with the whole election fraud thing, when we never even had this problem before in the first place until Donald Trump made his people believe that we did. So now they think that it's fair for them to cheat because they're convinced that the other side's
but even
already
going
cheating.
back a long, long time, it's like once the other side's always saying it was rigged. You know, but listen, Trump definitely did go a step further. But it's crazy though, man. You're right. We haven't seen shit like this, and what I'm seeing a lot this season, this election cycle, is a lot of hate.
Oh yeah.
And you know what's weird is that the hate was, and we talked about this, was the rhetoric, and I told you I was tired of it from Trump, right? I was tired of hearing everything being like these idiots, these dumbasses, these morons. I was just tired of it. And like once RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard got with him, it's like they got in his ear and they were like, hey, like let's just be a little more professional, and it worked. And then it's like now on the flip side, it's like Kamala's the one who's just constantly with the hate, and especially when it's like, you know, supposed to be like a party of joy. She's the one now who's just constantly going after Trump, which I don't like either. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's just a lot of weird shit on both sides. And you saw the I don't know where we can even begin. I mean, first of all, I guess, did you watch the Rogan?
No.
I'm not even gonna say interview because it was definitely not an interview. Rogan doesn't do interviews, but
No.
so I mean, I watched it. I mean, I wasn't overly impressed, but I wasn't going into it trying to be impressed, you know. But there was definitely some interesting things to take away from it. And, you know, I gave Trump a lot of shit, too, when it came to, you know, decisions he made, people he brought on board his first term, right? And he broke it down with Rogan, because Rogan's good like that. And what he said made sense, man. He was like, listen, he's like, I'm going in. I don't know anybody. I'm a Republican. I got to bring Republican people with me. I have people telling me who to appoint, which is what he did. And as he was in there, he learned, like, yo, these people don't even have my interests at heart or the people's interest. And that's why now, like, he's got the people at the team he feels comfortable with. And he kind of explained it, man, in a really elegant way. And even for Trump, you know, the way he weaves everything together. I don't know, man. It was an interesting conversation, but I don't think anybody went into that learning anything about Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was mostly people who already liked Trump that was watching it in the first place. I don't think anybody really changed their votes because of it, but so many people saw it.
Had a
that
lot of views,
it's a
and it
non-zero
was being
number,
hidden.
yeah. But then
It was
again,
actually being suppressed. I was shocked. I thought it was bullshit. I was going incognito. I was using all different browsers. Yo, Google would not bring that shit up.
I can
That
test
was
it right
weird.
now. I've seen a lot of people say the opposite. I can test it right now. I haven't done it yet, but we can do that. Let me catch up with the chat. Denke says BB doesn't
Well,
even have
today
a
it's actually been better since Elon blew it up. But dude, I was doing it too at the time when people were calling it out. I wasn't showing up.
He got a lot of views, so I feel like he probably got a lot of bot views too. But let's see. Denke says BB doesn't even have comics in the showrooms, but apparently they're gonna have comics in the BB verse, because if you listen to them talking during that little demo, they say something about, you want to see what comics do. He also says that they put out this pathetic any big drop is buggy IP holding up the house of cards. That's a bit accurate. Stan says, has the channel linked their library to Stacker? No, I have not. And yes, anarchy is coming. You're probably right. Bruin says, told you Trump would
hopped
do
up on
Rogan
Mountain
3
Dew.
hours and Kamala won't. Kamala actually offered to do Rogan for 1 hour, but Rogan had to fly to her, and Rogan said nah. So everybody's trying to get Kamala.
Well, the Rogan show takes place at the Rogan camp. Like,
I
you
hear
don't
you.
fly to nobody. You know what I mean?
Probably would have flew for Trump. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to get.
I don't think he would have.
You're probably right, because he didn't want to have Trump on at first, but then later on he did. I think it's cool that he's offering to have Kamala on, and he's also gonna have JD Vance on. Autumn
I
said,
think she might do. She might be on. I heard she might have done it today. Was going to
Oh,
be the
really?
plan, but yeah, I don't know if they ever
that would be
actually. So I don't know if they ever got
interesting.
that put together, but
If it's 3 hours, I won't watch that either. Shout out to Autumn in the chat. Says Trump's already crying that PA County. Yeah, he had a whole press conference too, and I think the whole fake
yeah.
votes was coming like from the right wing or whatever. There wasn't like left wing people doing it, or it was a setup. They do it on purpose just to say, look, there is voter fraud, even though they're the ones who did it. Stan says, I should have taken more notes on becoming a doomsday prepper. You're kind of right there. I'm not going to call those guys crazy anymore. For sure. Daniel Z says, have y'all seen that new movie Civil War with Kirsten Dunst? I heard it was not very good. Just saying, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. I haven't seen it yet. I like Kirsten Dunst, though, of course, because I'm a Spider-Man fan. That's why. But I haven't seen Civil War. It looks crazy. Mo, have you seen it?
No, it's on my short list of things to watch. I'm actually working my way through The Penguin right now and some other shows.
Penguins, yeah, I heard a lot of people like Penguin a lot. Bruin Idiot says, need a clean election, plain and simple. I mean, haven't we always had clean elections? We did last time. I don't see anything saying otherwise besides claims that were unfounded. Smart Bias says, what is the exact date of the U.S. election? It is November 5th, a week from today. And how many days does it take for the results? Well, that's a bit of controversy right there, too. A lot of people say that if you can't have the results by the end of the night, then something's wrong with you. And you can't, because it's like physically impossible to count that many votes by hand. So sometimes it takes like a few days, especially if it's close. Then they have to do recounts. So I don't know. Do we usually know by the end of the night, Mo, who the new president is? I feel like we do.
It will give a good idea, but I mean, obviously we learned last time around the overnight could have the mail-ins, things like that, shifting it.
Right.
I'm trying to think. I was trying to do some homework, and I'm gonna botch it, but I know that there was an election. I want to say it was it one of the Bush elections where it was like contested or delayed. I could be completely off on
Might
this.
be the one with Gore, because they called Florida for Bush, even though ends up Gore won it.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it, but that one. But that's what I'm saying. So like, even if we, even if they were like, oh, we gotta wait till the next day, and then people start going fucking crazy, like, relax, relax. Like, I don't think it's unprecedented.
Right.
But
I'm sure Trump's going to claim victory no matter what the score is at the end of the night. That's
oh
going to be
yeah,
my prediction.
You know that. And again, it's one of my least favorite things about the man. I've just really been a really torn year for me. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's been a crazy one. Let me catch up with the chat. Woody's talking about the mail ballots, or the drop-off boxes getting burnt, and he says one of them had fire suppression system inside it already. So I guess they anticipated that. Woody says lost almost no ballots. I know the one we were just looking at, though, I say they lost, or they may have lost up to 100 ballots. Hopefully they didn't. Give me an ice cold Dr. Pepper with cream soda, please. Heaven in a bottle. Wait, how do you know what I'm drinking? I was drinking that just today.
Oh, they have a Dr. Pepper cream soda one?
Yes, yeah, we just got a 6-pack the other day, so I was testing out. I was getting my kid to hook up his new mini fridge that I got him.
Nice.
For Christmas. Let's see. News Now Marijuana says Vault is mad that Trump is going to win. It's kind of wild looking at Twitter, seeing some people saying Trump is going to win in a landslide because of this, and a whole laid out case for it. And then you got people, one tweet later, they're saying Kamala's going to win in a landslide, and the media is just trying to pretend like it's close because it gets them better ratings. So, I don't know, man.
I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it.
Right,
and again, I know we don't believe, in the whole
let me catch up with the
thing,
chat
right?
first. Let me catch up with the chat, because I'm way behind, and then I'm going to get your 2 cents, and then I'm going to give you my 3 cents. News Now says Hillary called him a spy for Russia. He is. I believe that. I believe Hildog was right. That's when the division started. Now, come on. I feel like Trump is one of the most divisive people. Autumn says Trump cried rigged since 2016 primary. Yeah, before it even happened. He said if he lost, it was rigged. He was wrong. The general, he said if he lost, rigged, wrong. 2020, finally loses, keeps crying, rigged. Yes, trust me, I've talked about it many times. It's kind of ridiculous. And now all the weird media people keep calling him the N-word. I don't know what that means. Oh.
The one that rhymes with paparazzi?
Yeah, it took me a sec. I was like, what, the N-word? They're calling Trump that? But, I mean, he did.
Which is crazy, because the diversity that was at that rally at MSG, it was the last thing you should be calling them would be that. But, I just saying.
Shout out to Greedy Ones in the chat. What's up, Greedy One? I mean, I don't know. Some people call it a Nazi rally. Kryptoni says it's pointless to make a point in here. All my best points won't show up. Yeah, for some reason, Kryptoni is getting censored no matter what he says. I don't under. Does everybody else have that problem, or is it just Kryptoni?
Kryptoni spits. He spits facts, bro.
He spits too many facts.
He spits facts, man.
But these big corporations don't want to see it. News Now
He's
says,
on that Alex Jones list.
Oh, he has the same problem. Editing stuff. Got to talk in code. Yeah, you got to talk in code. I'll figure it out, trust me. 1 hour with plain and talking points only. That's going to be the Joe Rogan Kamala interview, I guess. Everyone watched the interview, supporters and haters. No one watched you closer than a hater? No one watched you closer than a hater? I don't know if that's true, Jay Hirsch. I'm a hater, and I watch Joe Rogan stuff. I can't sit there and listen to Trump for 3 hours, so I didn't even try to watch it. I think there was a lot of Russian bots clicking on the like and the watch buttons for that, so that helped the numbers. News Now Marijuana says, Vault sounds desperate and uninformed, kind of sad. Please give me some specifics on what you believe I'm uninformed about, and we can look it up right now and find out. Kryptoni says, in a nutshell, I said we don't make a difference. Well, that's
all just not uninformed. Let's relax on that.
That's true. I mean, let's look it up. We can test. We can fact check me in real time.
I fact check Vault all the time with PolitiFact and all sorts of other sites. Trust me, he's good.
There you go. Shout out to Rich.
I might not agree with him all the time or like it, but you know, he's good.
Please do fact check me. I like that. There was a video of somebody from what looks like another country tearing up fake pin Trump ballots. Pin Trump? I think I saw something where there was somebody tearing up a ballot, and it had somebody had been voted for Trump. I didn't know it was supposed to be somebody from another country though. I don't remember. I saw it like it flashed by. What's up, Abdullah? There's so much stuff these days that flash by. It's hard to keep up with it all. Shout out to Abdullah's in the chat. What he said, I think they were for both parties. Just one guy trying to get paid. Civil War is not a great movie, to be honest. That's what I hear. But makes you think that, what if? Yeah. 2016 will now be like 11. 2020, it was a couple days. The censorship is crazy. Sorry about that. You have a lot of Republican states that voted to not allow mail-in to even start to get counted till after regular voting in it. That's the law in Pennsylvania. When you see that little chart about how the Trump people think it was stolen because Biden got so many votes at that last second, it's because that's whenever they, by law, have to count the mail-in votes. Alright, maybe I can't keep up with the chat. I'm sorry. Too much chatting going on in here. Alright, let me catch up.
I love it, man.
I want to get
I love the interaction.
Bro. Shout out to Rob T's in the chat. Crying emoji. What's the presidential bet between OG? Ooh, do we have a bet, Mo? Or should we have a bet? Can we put a horse on it? Who do you think's gonna win?
I mean, sure.
I mean, I guess we could. I don't think you want any of my horses. My horses are trash compared to yours. But if you go back,
I wouldn't even say that. I just say it takes some time to really dive into PFL and get into it. But we can maybe talk about something. I'd be down. Maybe a little friendly wager.
Yeah, I mean, I believe. Yeah, I think that Kamala's gonna win. I think she could even take Texas, and I think that Trump is gonna pretend that he won, and they're gonna have a big January 6th Part 2, the sequel.
I mean, and again, I'm not saying I believe in polls. I'm not believing in polymarkets, but I'm just, the way I'm looking at it, and I've always looked at it this way, if you remove the noise on the data from like bets outside the country, right?
Right.
And you could do that on that site.
Well, no, with polymarket, you have to have their token to bet. So only token holders are the ones that they're counting. It's like crypto holders are the only people in that they're using.
Was it Kashi or was it Kalshi or something like that?
What's that?
There's another one. It's like Kashi or something.
I was like, yeah, it's probably the same. You probably have to have their token too. But I was talking about polymarket.
Yeah, I'm saying, but I'm looking at it. It's like, okay, you could say regular polls, right? Okay, cool. You could say 1% Kamala, I think, was ahead or something like that, where Biden was ahead by like 7 or 8. But then I look at anything that has to do with the money, and I'm like, well, if Trump's that far ahead when people are putting their money behind it, as long as it's not outside the country and it's people inside the country, I'd take that. I'd take that as a good indicator. But I'm not saying I still believe in that shit, but I'm just saying, if, I put my money behind something, a little bit different than me just talking to a random pollster and not wanting to give my, honest opinion about something, I don't know. That's just the way when I look at them. But
I don't put much stock into polls myself anyway. For one main reason is I've never been polled. I mean, if I've never been polled, then I don't think the average person has been polled. I mean, at least once I would have been polled. So
I've been approached. But that's only when I was hanging out and like, shit, I was like God,
You're in New York too, so keep that in mind.
yeah, I was like near a college during election season or
Right.
some shit, so that's probably why we were approached. But yeah, I mean, where I go, no one's walking up to me at the weed store or Stop and Shop being like, "Hey, can I talk to you about our next future president?"
News Now says the spy rumor was debunked. Who was it that you were saying that was being called a spy? I thought you were talking about Trump being a spy for Russia, and I was ironically saying, yeah, I was just joking around. But I do think we know for sure he keeps in contact with Putin. It came out in the news like last week. Let me catch up with the chat a little bit. Alex Winters is talking about the Cope of Vault sending prayers. If you believe that money, put your money where your mouth is. Trump W and Kamala W, the popular vote. Kamala's definitely going to win the popular vote. Republicans never win the popular vote. That's why they want as few people to vote as possible. But Kamala keeps texting me to send her money, but I ain't sending her money. If she'll take like a Me and MoKnowz, I'll transfer one of those over. But you gotta talk to Dan and Dave. We can't even transfer. So sorry, Kamala. Got nothing
Bro,
for you.
she has raised so much more money compared to Trump. It's wild.
Because people are scared.
I know, but I look at it too, and because I thought it was a bunch of debunked, information going like Lizzo was paid this much, Beyonce was paid that much, and honestly, like my first instinct when I saw how much, Kamala's raised compared to Trump, I'm thinking that Beyonce's getting paid too. You know what I mean? I'm looking at that shit going, damn, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, what are they even spending it on? I don't see that many ads. The only thing I see is text for more money.
Yes, I mean, like even that. So I understand when they go to the event and they're talking, like they're not at a rally, like they're not getting paid for that. But that commercial that she made where it's got all the celebrities, like, are they getting paid for that? Is there any sort of like, I don't really know the ins and outs of that. I know everything that they spend money on the campaign has to be on some document or documented somewhere,
right?
But it's not updated that often. So like you'll see things from like September just going on now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so is the question whether or not Beyonce is getting paid? I feel like probably, yeah. I don't think she does. Yeah. Well, I do know that apparently they offered 50 Cent $3 million to, I don't know if it was perform or talk, but come to a Trump rally, and he said no. So apparently they do get paid, judging by that.
Is that true? Yeah,
Then again, that might be some Twitter rumor. I don't know. I don't remember where I saw it, but I did see that for sure.
I mean, I just, like I said, me, I like to play fair on both sides. And once I went into the Lizzo Beyonce one, I mean, that was debunked pretty quickly. And everything I read was like, oh, no, they can't pay for that. They can't. Like the only payment that the Kamala Harris camp has made so far was like a $75 donation for some support from some group. I don't even know. But again, like if it doesn't go on the books for 6 weeks, then if Beyonce got paid 2 days ago, then we wouldn't know. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And then there's also speaking of this, kind of the same thing here is all that money that Trump gave for flood victims and hurricane victims that was through the GoFundMe. And if you look into the fine print of the GoFundMe, he only has to give like 6% of that to actual charities. And some people are wondering if he's actually going to give that money to him or if he's going to keep it for himself, because it is ran by his campaign finance manager. Alex said there's another one in USA, not crypto. Which one is it? I'll go look it up, the non-crypto ones. Who cares about the markets that much? I mean, have we ever talked about markets before when it comes to presidential races? Maybe just a little bit once in a while, but not the main thing like they are now.
Well, yeah, but you gotta remember, like, dude, we live in a super, super degenerate world right now, right? Like, the amount of people that just want to spin slots that I know that would never in a million years go sit at a casino tells me everything I need to know. Do you remember when we used to play SimCity back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Remember what happened when you build a casino in your freaking city? It would just become degenerate and people would go freaking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what's going on right now, is that, like, that's why maybe it does kind of shed some light on what's really happening, because people are that degenerate. They're like, oh, I can't make money on meme coins this week. I'm going to the presidential election. Like, this is going to be crazy. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And Trump's starting
his
his
own...
own...
I'm not saying I really put that much stock in it, but...
Trump's starting his own crypto thing. I don't even know exactly what it is because I'm not paying that much attention to it because I'm definitely not buying any. Of course, that might bite me in the butt. I didn't buy any Trump NFTs, and I probably should have, because some of them end up selling for a lot. But Gritty One's talking about if it gets too close, it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and Trump will end up winning that. He'll definitely win if it goes to the Supreme Court. But what's crazy is during the Nazi rally the other day, I'm sorry, the Trump rally at the Madison Square Garden, Trump did say something super weird. I guess you watched it, maybe you heard this quote, but he said, don't worry, everybody, me and Mike Johnson have a secret plan, and right now the secret plan is going really well in the House. Like,
Matt Gaetz.
That's all I heard. That's all
it was Matt Gaetz he was talking about, where he's like, I'm going to let you know after the election.
Yeah. What's that? What's that all about?
I don't know. It is kind of weird. It's just kind of like, an order today, and we're going to send you a special surprise.
It sounds like he's trying to cheat or something. He's got some kind of trick up his sleeve that he's not allowed to say it in person or out in public, so it sounds illegal, right? Why would he not be allowed to say it if it was legal?
I mean, apparently, it's also not illegal for Elon to just fucking get people to vote the way. I mean, I guess people have looked into it as not illegal. He's not really paying people to vote per se. But he's doing it. A lot of people getting like $1 million a day. Look at shit, is wild.
It is wild. I don't know what News Now is talking about. It says the Young Turks are voting for Trump. Maybe Anna Kasparian possibly, but not Chink ain't voting for Trump.
I think he is. I think he is.
What?
He was on Piers Morgan. I don't think he's voting for Kamala.
He might not be voting for Kamala, but I know he's not voting for Trump. I'll watch. He's on Pierce all the time. Wops sold 3 of his Trump Elf on a Shelf dolls on eBay for $83. I once found The Apprentice. I've sold a few of the Apprentice board games for profit, but I once found an Apprentice board game all in French, and it was new and sealed in the plastic, and I sold it for like a couple hundred, but if I had it now, it'd probably be worth thousands. It was really rare. News Now says, all right, man, have fun next week. In for a rude awakening. We're going to find out. We're going to find out who's in for a rude awakening. We got C-Spill in the building. What's up, C-Spill? It's Tales from the Crypto. We're talking about politics since it's kind of the last episode. The last week that we're going to be live streaming Tales from the Crypto before next Tuesday, which is Election Day. Autumn says, same way X-Poll is straight BS. Clearly ran. Yeah, you can definitely tell those X-Polls are manipulated. But, I mean, everybody on the X is right-wing, like the majority. We were talking
I don't know
about
if they're manipulated. I just think that they're skewed towards a right-leaning audience. I don't think they're
but they probably got a lot of bots too. I would say manipulated too, because I mean, if you look into the replies of some of these comments or some of the big comments that get a lot of likes, or a lot of views, over 1 million views, you'll see like definitely easy to notice bot activity of like the different people saying the exact same words, like the exact same paragraph, word for word.
100%. Yeah, 100%. AI. It's just AI bots doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if those bots are. I guess when I say I don't know if it's like malicious, I don't know if it's like Elon Musk sitting there on the back end just like removing votes. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not disagreeing that there are bots that probably are created for that. I just don't know if like Elon or somebody at the company is the one behind it per se, but they definitely exist. Because yeah, I mean it's obvious. It's like, wow, that's a nice picture of an old man with a young lady. Wow, she really looks like she's having a good time sitting on his lap. Like, it's like, okay, cool, you just described the picture. Nice. But it's all people that are doing the impressions, and they got accounts trying to monetize on Twitter. I have a buddy of mine that does that from PFL. It's actually pretty crazy how much money he makes, and I used to give him shit all the time for doing it.
Yeah, especially now that you're getting paid to tweet, getting paid to be provocative or to be controversial. So that incentivizes people to make stuff up. Like the dude that made up the thing about Tim Waltz with his student or something. He was just trying to get clicks because he was getting paid for clicks.
Yeah, it's like I said, man. It's all just sad. I don't even dislike Tim Waltz. I told you, going into it when he was first announced, everything I read, everything I heard was just despicable and vile. But I'm like, that's why I don't believe everything I read and I hear, because until I get a chance to see the guy with my own 2 eyes. I told you, man, during the VP debate, I felt like I kind of wish we had Vance versus Walz to be running, to be honest. We would have had an old school political campaign, I think, Yeah,
and one of them, it's just kind of like to the left of the establishment left, and JD Vance is to the right a little bit of the establishment right, so it would be a pretty good face-off. We got a little bit of chat in here about the drops this week. Kryptoni's talking about Detective Comics 31 on Candy. Commons and uncommons are at 20. Is that the one I bought? I got the one recently that was a $20 retail, but I haven't bought anything after that. And I know there's a Halloween.
Don't get me started on Candy.
Do you like Candy?
Bro, do you remember a while back when we went at it and I had to put somebody in place and chat, and we talking about like the most expensive comic, and I was like, "Yo, what about the Green Lantern? Y'all don't know about the one from 1943? Yada yada yada."
Yeah.
Well, when that thing freaking came out, I never bought it. Because every comic I own a common, an uncommon, a rare. Usually I go all the way up to the rare at least, right, or an epic. And dude, I saw it on Twitter because I have the bot that tells you when things sell on there, or whatever. And it was like the All American Comic sells for like $73 for the core, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, oh, I know I own a couple of these because I usually always own a couple cores and shit, right?
Right.
I logged into my Candy account. Must have been when I was just pissed off and busy doing PFL, and I never bought any of them. And they're all just pumping. They all just pump like a motherfucker. Oh, I was so mad. But I called that. I told you that was going to be a very, very sought-after comic, man.
Yeah, you definitely did, and I'm pretty sure I have the uncommon of it. I didn't know if that candy stuff was pumping. Is this across the board or just a couple different things?
No, not across the board.
Oh.
It's just... I was going across the board at all my comics thinking, I was like, ooh, I might have some money here. But no, it was just for that one, for whatever reason. Maybe there's a few other ones that are pumping too, but that one definitely has gone up considerably. I was even going back looking at the recent sales.
Oh, yeah.
And it went everywhere from like 30 to like 72 in a short period.
Oh, wow.
So.
And see, Spill's asking about the comic drop today. Mo, did you go for today's VB comic drop? Probably not. Did you go for the weekend drops?
Nah, I tuned into yours on
nice.
VOD. So you did pretty well though, didn't you?
I did last week. This week,
was that last
no,
week's? Yeah,
but
it was last week's.
Last week, the week before, I did really good, but last week I did not do good. I lost about 20 gems.
All right.
I'm trying to
What, this
remember
weekend
what
it just went by? You lost 20 gems?
Yeah, there was something that dropped. Maybe somebody in the chat can remind me. And there were two versions, and I got the one that was, I think, $30. Yeah, it was $30 retail, and I ended up selling for like 11. Rough,
Yeah, right.
rough drop.
Well,
Should have went for it. I was feeling lucky. I had 2 good weeks in a row, so might as well test my luck a little more. Rob T says Mo might have a new thoroughbred named Mo Trump from Vault soon. Hey, if that's what we're doing, man, I don't think he's gonna be the one getting the new thoroughbred. I think Kamala's gonna run away with. Like I said, here's my prediction: Kamala wins Texas. If that happens, it don't matter what swing states do what. What he says, Trump just steals his music, yeah, and all the people he steals it from get mad at him for it. Then he says, y'all Americans are crazy. True that. My buddy just bought me a Trump chocolate bar. What's up with everybody, all the other countries, being so interested in our election? Why do they care so much? It's kind of weird. Like, people are like deep into it.
Well, because not only is U.S. politics normally a 3-ring circus to begin with, we now have Trump. You know, like you said, since he came onto the scene in 2016. I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. Fuck. I had the movie. It was on the tip of my tongue, but now I can't think of it. But he just changed the game, dude. He just changed the game out for better or for worse. I don't know. But I tell you right now, it's going to be a pretty damn cool thing if, obviously, because Trump doesn't run in 2028. It'd be really sick, though, man, to see if RFK Jr. or Tulsi Gabbard, again, coming over from Democratic Party, gets that nominee. And I think they would. I think they actually would, probably over J.D. Vance.
Yeah, I think they'd be a good ticket together, actually.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want you to put political party in it, but again, you've seen them on the Democratic side. I mean, they're for the American people, both of them, man.
No,
like,
Tulsi.
you know what I'm saying?
Tulsi is a war hawk.
Yeah, but I mean, look at RFK, bro. Like, when I listen to this guy talk, it makes me realize that how big of a piece of shit that I really am when it comes to like, no, seriously, man, like keeping myself healthy.
Right.
You know what I mean, dude? I'm like a healthy person, I guess. If you look at me, you're like, oh yeah, you've seen me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm not like obese, I'm not like whatever, but like out of breath and shit walking around. But like, I'm definitely not a healthy human being. Like, I don't eat right, I don't exercise right, like, and it's true, man. Like, a lot of these people dying, bro, and like these kids, every am I wrong, dude? Like, every kid is like has some sickness or some shit.
Yeah, the
You know
whole
what I mean?
autism thing makes me wonder, like, did everybody used to have autism and just didn't get diagnosed, or is it something with what we're eating that more people are actually having autism now? I mean, it could go either way, because if you look at things like left-handedness, it's not like only 1% or less than 1% of the world was left-handed 100 years ago. It's just that left-handedness wasn't accepted. Maybe we'll go 200 years ago, but now there's 15% are left-handed because now it's okay to be left-handed. They used to smash your hand if you were left-handed until you started writing with your right hand. So
That's right.
it's kind of the same thing. You don't know which. I mean, I don't know. Is this something? Are we having more autism in our country than other countries, or are we just diagnosing it more because the doctors are more tuned into that?
So when me and you were growing up, now again, I don't know if again your actual upbringing, but we had creeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they would run, behind the schoolyard, and they'd have a bunch of brush, and you can go climb the fence, right? They used to go under the roads, okay? Bro, we used to like take our shoes off, walk under the fucking roads, like broken glass in there,
Oh, yeah.
getting cut up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
But like, that built up some crazy defenses in our bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we could withstand a lot of shit, but these kids, and again, it started with like air purifiers and dehumidifiers, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have them, but you can't have your kid never exposed to like dust. Now again, I'm not saying you put your kid in a filthy room and have them live there. That's not healthy either. But like, never being exposed to these things, man, it's just it really is a problem, and never being exposed to a healthy lifestyle, like what RFK Jr. talks about, is also a problem. Not just for people like me, but for younger kids. I don't know. That's why I love the guy, man. Even when he was a Democrat, I fucking love him.
Yeah, there's some things I like about him, some things I don't like about him. Greedy One says,
What don't you like about him? I'm just curious.
Well, the fact that
Besides when he talks, it's very hard to listen to.
that's not a big deal for me, but the fact that he had a wife with kids, and then one day he came home and his wife read his diary about how he cheated on her like 10 times in the last 2 years, and it hurt her so much that she hung herself. I mean, that one's kind of hard for me to get over. And also vaccines. I don't like his stance on vaccines. But I mean, that's a little rough. And Greedy One's fact checking me about 50 Cent. Apparently the 3 million was about the Breakfast Club. I saw a tweet where it said about the Trump rally, so maybe it was one of my left wing crazy people that I don't even follow them. They just show up in my feed. Let's see. C-Spill says Mo's gonna secretly vote for Kamala like a lot of these Proud Boys' wives. He's gonna talk a big story about Trump, but when he goes into that polling booth and his conscience kicks in and his heart grows 3 times bigger, he's gonna vote for Kamala. What do you think?
Dude, listen, man. I always look for hope on the Democratic Party because I know how fucking corrupt the Republicans are. I know it, and that's why I always use the Chappelle joke, man, where he's like, and the Republicans just come out and they're like, this is exactly what we're doing, bitch, and they go right back in.
Yeah.
Whereas, Democrats try to like smoke and mirrors, they try to like, just, distract you and shit. It's like, that's always been my issue. But I tried so hard, man. I tried so hard to like get involved and listen to her and try to learn some policies that were different from Biden and try to like just tried it. I did, bro. Well, you remember, dude, I'm not closed-minded like that, man. I'm not.
Oh, yeah, no, you're not. Yeah.
I tried so hard, but she just doesn't give me the hope. And that's why I said, like, when I watched like Walls, and I was like, damn, like, shit, you guys might have actually bought me on the ticket with that guy, like it might have actually happened.
Alex,
then again, I feel like if he was on the ticket, then I feel like RFK Jr. would have still been on that side, and like Tulsi Gabbard would have still been on that side, and it probably would have made it even easier,
I wonder if like Tulsi Gabbard or RFK are getting paid to come over to the other side, because I don't really see how it benefits them. But maybe they'll become stars now that they're attached to Trump. And if Trump is too old to run next time after he gets beat by Kamala this time, one of them, like he said, will have a good chance to run for president as a Republican, which would be interesting. Alex says Tulsi's not a war hawk, apparently. All I know is that she agrees with everything that Russia says. So there's that.
I mean, just listening to her talk about her time, and I know she was like a nurse or something. I don't know if she's like actual combat, but I mean, she saw the results of combat and like action on the ground, and you could tell how it affected her.
Right.
And again, that's kind of like what I kind of lean into with her. But the only thing I would say, honestly, bro, like about them coming over being stars, and because maybe you agree or disagree, I'm curious. A buddy of mine mentioned it to me, and the Democratic Party, right, for the longest time was like this rebel party, right? It was like, oh, let's make the change and like whatever. But then some people feel now that like a lot of them have gone so far overboard. But now it's like you see RFK Jr. and like Tulsi Gabbard where they're like, oh, well, now the rebel party is more towards the right. You know what I mean? And a buddy of mine mentioned that to me, and I was like, you know what? Maybe that's why I'm always such a in a centrist way, always being like, oh, let me find that hope in the Democratic push here, or whatever, And again, I did with Obama,
Yeah.
I did even with Biden to a certain extent because I hated the way Trump handled COVID,
Yeah, I think that's actually true. I mean, they're more anti-establishment than the Democrats are. I think that all started off when Bernie was looking like he was going to beat Hillary, and then the establishment just squashed Bernie, and then pretty much everybody was like, all right, Democrats are just going to be establishment. And at this point, they didn't even have any type of primary for Kamala, which of course a lot of people complain about. But I mean, that's just an example of them keeping it in their establishment now. There's no chance for a progressive to ever be running for president because they get dogged on CNN worse than Republicans. So everybody's saying that CNN is this super left-wing network. It's just, no, it's a corporatist network. It's not left-wing at all. It hates Bernie Sanders. It hates progressives. So it's kind of, it's not exactly the way that it's depicted by a lot. Shout out to Big A, who's also left-handed. My kid is left-handed. My kid and my brother. I'm righty. I'm a righty myself. What he says, lead causes a lot of neurological problems. Also fumes like car exhaust. I always try to be conscious with my kids. And also the fumes when you're pumping gas. I always put my shirt up over my nose when I'm pumping gas because those fumes are harmful for you. But yeah.
Oh, but it smells so good, man. Come on,
it
now.
Does have a sweet
if you ain't
smell.
never got a little gasoline high, I mean, have you really lived? I mean, it ain't like you're out here fucking huffing galaxy gas.
No, that's the new thing. I never
have we talked about the galaxy gas?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we did on this channel.
Bro,
They're
have
whippets,
you
right?
seen
It's just basically whippets.
Yeah, it's a whippet. But, bro, these kids, right, because these companies sell it as like a whipped cream flavor, right?
Oh, right.
And then these kids buy these massive freaking bottles. They're gigantic, bro.
That's scary.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm just making whipped cream. You know what I mean? Bro, it's freaking hilarious, like how they try to sell that galaxy gas shit. But yeah, it's nothing more than nitrous.
That kills your brain cells right there.
Oh, 100%. I've never done nitrous because my dad and my uncle used to do that shit. And I watched the dude, I was gonna do it, and the dude hit the thing with the cracker, right?
Right.
The nut, they use that, the CO2 cracker.
I don't know.
And bro, he freaking did that shit, and he was like, I hear like helicopters, man, and like he just freaking hit the ground and blacked out. And I'm like, yo,
goodness.
I do not want to do that. I'm like, who's got the weed?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna keep on smoking weed, bro. She comes from the earth, you know. That's God's fucking plant right there.
Yeah, I've done it a few times in college. One of my friends passed out when we were doing it, which was kind of scary. We were doing it out of balloons.
Well, my dad and my uncle used to fill up garbage bags with this shit.
Oh, really?
And they would sit there and they would play Atari Decathlon, right? I think I told you the story where he took 2 controller buttons and put underneath a carpet and mounted it, and they would run on it. And my dad and my uncle tell me stories about them just running on this freaking power pad in 1979, huffing garbage bags of freaking nitrous.
That sounds wild. That's some New York stuff right there. Only in New York.
That's just old school life, bro. That was when life was fun.
Denke says at least things are looking hopeful for 2028. America just needs to get through 4 more years. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is there going to be a 2028? Is there going to be an election in 2028? Trump said if you vote for him, you're not going to have to vote again in 4 years. He's going to fix things so good that you'll never have to vote again. I think that was like his exact quote. Alex,
that's exactly why we need people like RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard being like, hey.
Yeah, but I don't think JD Vance is that dude. JD Vance is just like a yes man. So I don't know if he's gonna be able to stop him.
Oh, I don't think it's Vance at all. No, and you know what? I'm gonna kind of call it right now. The same way I called that Robert Salah would get fired from the Jets. I actually called this shit like a year and a half ago, last season. Because Rodgers and Salah are just 2 completely different type of personalities, and you saw it on Hard Knocks, which in the first hour of the episode. And I was like, this shit's never going to work. I'm like, they're going to have big issues. It's going to this whole blowout. Rodgers is going to make this whole standoff just like he does. And, ego shit. He's like, what happened? And that's what's going to happen with JD Vance and like RFK Jr. Because RFK Jr. is going to be the type of guy where he's like, oh, my name, my family, like, this is who I am. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be like, I have more power than you, even though you might be the vice president type shit.
What do you think cabinet position Kennedy's going to get?
He's getting the the health.
Oh yeah.
He's getting the health.
I think they're just they're gonna just destroy all those departments anyway. So what's the point? I mean, that's the plan, right? They're gonna get rid of the Department of Education. So is there even a reason to have a Secretary of Education?
I mean, what you talk about from the whole 2025 thing.
No,
Project 2025.
that's not even Project 2025. They've been saying that for a long time. We want to get rid of the Department of Education. I mean, he says that in his speeches, like every speech. And then they want to get rid of the IRS. They want to get rid of the FBI, the CIA, all the 3-letter agencies.
Well, I thought they said they want to get rid of the inefficiencies.
No.
Because I mean, you know, the same way, right? I think again, I think like Trump looks at a guy like Elon, where he's like, he can come in and fire 80% of the staff, and they're super efficient now with less staff. Because if you don't get people that want to be there and that want to work, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
just dead weight, just cut them, you know?
true.
And I think especially now in the society we live in, like every job, every place of business that I go into, I can walk in and I can pinpoint 10 people that should get fired immediately. Okay, and I just walked in the freaking store. You know what I mean? So these managers definitely know like who's their best employees, who wants to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, so it's really no different there. But
You're right. Alex says, definitely can't forget how Trump handled COVID. Ruined so many small businesses. People forget. I thought you were like pro-Trump this whole time, and all of a sudden now you're upset with Trump, how he handled COVID. I just remember him saying, we only have 7 cases, and that number will only go down from here when it first began. Then, of course.
oh, it was a massive mishandling of that.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah, I did hear about Kanye being hooked on the nitrous oxide. Pray for Yeezy, y'all. I'm not praying for Yeezy. I don't like Yeezy. His music's alright.
Yeah, no,
that
I'm not a
dude
fan.
gets on my nerves. Alex says they're getting rid of the books. Yeah, that's annoying. C-Spill says, Rainey just said we all need to get Dogecoin. Probably right. I mean, if Trump
Yeah,
wins...
definitely probably right. I bought some.
Yeah.
I bought some.
Is it down right now? Like, is it a good buy right now? Or is it close to the all-time high?
It was up from when I bought it. I got sick and tired of Coinbase freaking emailing me, telling me Doge is up, SHIB is up.
So what do you think it's possible that Elon would do that would make Doge pump?
Just show up. He's just gonna be.
He's got to talk about it a little, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, listen, if what he is capable of doing, and I know you're not the biggest Elon guy,
No.
but I mean, for me personally, like I said, it's just watching an interview with that guy, and I know I've seen interviews with tons of rich people, I've met tons of rich people, and these people just go to work, they work a 9 to 5, they go home, they forget about their freaking job, they go to sleep, and they do it again. You know, they're more interested in like their vacations and their yachts and whatever. This dude can't sleep. He's like, yo, the world's got problems and I can fix them. And I'm sorry, like I have a hard time like not having a lot of respect for that dude. So my point is, I think he's just gonna bring again the efficiency in and just kind of like, what can we really do to, you know, stop overspending and stop, you know, wasteful spending. You know, I mean, we talked about it too, bro. Like, could you imagine? Like you say, get rid of like Department of Education and all that's ridiculous. Okay, if anything, we should be doubling down because these kids are fucking dumb. Okay, they are dumb. I watch so many of these like people on the street.
Yes,
I watch
those
these.
crack me up. Like, name 3 countries. I can't.
Yeah, and now like I'm watching like these Jubilee things that I'm hooked on, and like this other channel, and bro, it's always like 1 verse 20 or like 1 verse 30.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind when like a civilized 20-something-year-old or 30-something-year-old can go up against like these 18, 20-year-olds that they can't form a sentence. They just, everything's like, well, I really feel like, well, if we just look at the first half of the definition and we don't really pay attention to the rest, no, that's not how a definition works. Like, you can't just redefine something, right, to fit your narrative, which is like what they try to do, and it's freaking wild. But the point is, if you double down on education, what we can do is you can legalize weed across the border, across the country, right? Federal tax, take all that money, put it towards education, put it towards roads, infrastructure, let's juice up the power grid, right? Like, I'm sure you saw that thing where it was like $8 billion for 9 of the charging stations or whatever.
Yeah, I saw something about
These things
that.
ain't cheap. These things ain't cheap, and you know the power that's going to take to run it, not to the level. Because again, I know someone in Chaz could be like, "Oh, it doesn't cause brownouts in LA." Yeah, I know. I fact checked that too. Like, it's not actually true. But if you start putting a crazy load when an area like that does have issues, just imagine what it's going to do if you mandated that everybody was electric, right? You have to build the infrastructure. You have to have the money. Where's it going to come from, right? Like, listen, I'm all down for giving Ukraine you know, a little bit of spending money, whatever, right? But like, let's keep ourselves in check. Let's make sure we're good, you know. But I feel like if you legalize weed and just took all that money and dumped it into our country, that alone, looking at how states have, you know, profited from that and benefited from it, I feel like it's a win-win. You know what I mean? Am I crazy? Like,
No, I think you're right. I don't know if they need to do it federally, but I feel like it's the states that are going to be the ones that are taxing it and getting the money. And states need money. Not all of them, but a lot of them definitely need money. And
well, if
at
the
least we'll
states
have
could collect
regulation
it,
over it too. We need more regulation so that we're not getting like fentanyl in our weed.
well, that's why we need to put it on the blockchain. Because if all government spending was on the blockchain,
Oh yeah,
right, it would be so easy to just look at it and pinpoint it
I've
and
been
be
saying
like,
that for over 3 years now. I always say,
yeah, I know you know, I know you have.
Yeah.
We definitely agree on that.
definitely
I
government
mean, he
money.
still says weed's not the answer. Actually, it is. Weed is the answer. It's just people don't want to admit it because the amount of people that do admit to smoking weed is already staggering. And then just when people are like, oh, well, I wasn't one of like, I think it's like 6 or 7 out of 10 that have even smoked it. And it's like the other 3 or 4, once it's legal in their state, they're like, wow, I might as well give it a shot now.
Right. And then they
You know
start
what I
smoking,
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not anything crazy, dude. The stigma's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, it was like, oh, it's the devil's lettuce. Oh, it's gonna make you go to the loony bin. And then it was like, oh, well, that didn't work. So now we're just gonna make people think, oh, well, if you smoke weed, you're a loser and you're lazy. Well, that's weird because there's so many people that own massive companies and make a lot of money that all smoke weed. Guess what they don't do? They don't hit the bottle when they wake up in the morning. They're not alcoholics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem. But that's why weed had the stigma, right?
Yeah.
Prohibition.
Yep.
Everyone went to smoking weed. Prohibition ended. Oh my God, when people are so caught up in this weed thing. Oh, let's just put a smear campaign. Well, bam, right here comes what's it called? Oh my God, you know the movie? Jesus.
The movie.
Oh my God, help me out here. Oh my God.
Oh, that one movie that you're talking about the weed, Reefer Madness.
Yeah, Reefer Madness. Yes.
Yeah,
But it's crazy though, man. Like without prohibition, without the smear campaign against marijuana, which was from alcohol and tobacco, you know what I'm saying? Like without that, we don't have that stigma. But we did, and we got through it. And as time goes on, the truth comes out, and people are like, "Wow, this guy smoked weed. Wow, that guy smoked weed my entire life. Damn, he's got so much money. Shit, I'm sitting over here taking shots every night trying to get my dick wet. But I should have been smoking weed the whole time." You know what I'm saying? Because, listen, the proof is out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making this shit up.
No,
Okay.
I agree 100%. Woody's talking about Trump putting Scott Pruitt, an oil and gas guy, over the EPA last time who dismantled the department. He's all corporate. Yeah, it's crazy how Trump did that to so many different departments where they put the person who complains the most about that department or wants to get rid of that department as the new secretary of that department. But what were the results? I really didn't see a whole lot of results. Not like they destroyed the EPA. They probably defunded it, but he would have done that either way. Alex is not a Trump guy. He's an RFK guy. I see a lot of that. A lot of people say I was an RFK guy. So RFK went to Trump, so I'm going to Trump. He says RFK and Bernie. I'm a big Bernie guy. Never changed. Been anti-war, anti-censorship for my whole life. I feel like everybody's anti-war, anti-censorship. Are they not? They should be. But however, I'm starting to wonder about the censorship. Like, should we allow a South African immigrant who was an illegal immigrant and the richest man in the world come into our country and take over or buy the most popular social media website used by our citizens and then decide what news is real and what news isn't? Like, he completely deplatforms people that are telling true facts and true news. He even blocked
Who is he deplatformed?
He kicked off the one guy that was a journalist who printed the J.D. Vance dossier, which was all completely fact-checked. And
I know he did like a massive unbanning, and even like the crazy people like Alex Jones and those crazy motherfuckers. I know the people I watch it like on streams. They're all like, "Oh, I'm back on Twitter," and I'm like, "Damn, that was you back on?"
That was me too. My old account. See, I'm still not using. Yeah, I'm not using the Twitter that I used during
You're
the bull
tame.
run.
You're tame compared to some of the people that I follow.
Well, they didn't think I was tame enough because they got rid of me until Elon came back and unbanned me. But no, this is something that happened more recently. So I don't know if it's okay to let him. Even the fact that he's a foreigner. I mean, just the fact that he is promoting completely fake stuff. Like, he was promoting the whole talking point about the eatings of the dogs and the cats in Springfield, Ohio, and calling the Haitians illegal immigrants when they're not illegal immigrants. So,
Oh, dude, that shit drove me crazy. And again, that's all the stuff that I'm like, once RFK Jr. kind of came into the picture, you kind of saw him stepping back from that, you know. And again, I'm saying it's okay. Although, actually, weird segue. Did you see what Fortnite came out with?
no.
And I'm bringing it up because, bro, first of all, they made a Kamala Harris map in Fortnite, right? They're really trying to tap into the youth.
Really?
And in the
Interesting.
map, it's got like vote Harris signs all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a thing where it's got Trump saying they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. It's got the soundbite, bro.
In the Fortnite?
In a Fortnite map
Wow.
promoting Kamala Harris, dude.
Oh, they are so
Oh
woke.
man, I almost lost my shit when I saw that.
That's wild. But speaking of Fortnite, and I see Greedy One talking about they might do the same thing on Call of Duty. I did want to mention that I did start playing Off the Grid. I tweeted about it, so I'm sure most of you guys follow me on Twitter, so you probably saw the tweet. But I was finally able to talk my kid into putting his PlayStation 5 into the front room for a few days, and I started playing Off the Grid. And Mo was right. It's really dope. It's just like an Apex Legends or a Fortnite game where you drop in and you loot boxes and you pick up. Why is your mouth moving when I talk? It's messing
So
up.
I was answering my phone real quick.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
listening
was
though.
like, what? That's weird. All right, no, but yeah, you loot the boxes, and instead of having like special perks, basically every person who's in the game has no arms or no legs. So you pick up, or you start off with bionic arms and bionic legs that don't have any special abilities. But when you're looting these crates, you might pick up an arm that has a missile attached to it. Now you have a missile that you can use, or you might have some legs that make you run fast. So I mean, it's really, really dope. Big A knows he's playing it right now. And it is on the Avalanche blockchain, but as Mo was telling me before we started going live, apparently it's starting to lose steam a little bit. It might have to do with the new Call of Duty being released recently, but I'm a big fan of the game. Unfortunately, my kid talked me into letting him buy some new anime fighting game just yesterday, so he took the PlayStation back into his room, so I'm not getting to play no Off the Grid right now, which was on Xbox. But
Well,
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the COD definitely cut into the streamer numbers. And I know a lot of charts and stuff that were going around were based on like stream stuff, and that's always going to happen when it comes to streaming. Now, when it comes to player base, I mean, you can still track it by wallet and on-chain transaction stuff. But honestly, the biggest problem with Off the Grid, because I'm someone who couldn't stop playing it, but as they made patches and as they made updates, my game just runs so bad. Like, dude, like, I now understand that if I want to fight somebody, I have to be looking outwards from the center of the map. If I'm looking at the middle of the map and I have to render everything in the background, it's like being in quicksand. And the way that I play, and a lot of people probably tuned into my stream and watch me play, I'm very, very agile. I'm flying all over the place. Like, one of my favorite things to do is like hit the jump legs, right?
Right.
I'll have Paralyze running, which like it shocks the people.
Yep.
So I'll turn on Paralyze, I'll jump up in the air, I'll zap them midair, and then I'll take my grapple hook, and while they're paralyzed, I'll grapple them off of whatever ledge they're on if they're high up, and I'll just watch them fall to their death. Or what I like to do is people like to try to follow me now when I'm on like manhunt, right? So they're hunting me down, and what I do is I go up on the zip line, the vertical zip line. I go to the top, I activate Paralyze, I go right back down to the bottom. By the time they realize that I'm looping back behind them, it's too late. Now I'm right behind them with Paralyze. I paralyze them out of the air. They fall. They break their legs. I land right next to them. I dance, and I shoot them in the face. But the problem is the way the game runs right now, it's very hard for me to play like that. So I get into like these weird gunfights. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. And I know Xbox. I heard Xbox actually runs better, which is a scary thought. But
It's only
yeah,
the
I still hear
Series
it's
X,
not
though.
great. I
Xbox
still hear
Series
it's,
X.
Yeah, on Series X. I still hear it's not that great, but yeah, I don't know. For me personally, it's borderline unplayable at certain points. And you have hackers. Hackers were running wild, dude, on PC.
Yeah, I figured they would
And
be.
even though it seems like they patched it up and now they have like a whole campaign where they're paying people to discover hacks. Yeah, I mean, that definitely hurt the game for a week because every streamer would load the game up and it would just be like, a hacker in the game, and the way the hacks worked on that game, I don't know if you saw it, was crazy. It was like guys would just be shooting through walls and being like, and it would just be like,
Dang, what the? Do all games have that problem, or is it just because it's a Web3 game?
Well, they released it originally with some bullshit easy eye anti-cheat, and the first thing I remember reading was like, oh yeah, this is going to be hacked in 24 hours. And I don't think it took that long. But, you know, they were able to make some changes. But the problem is on PC, man, the only way to get around it is to use some intrusive anti-cheat, kind of like Valve does with League of Legends and Valorant. A lot of people just don't like intrusive anti-cheats that run like on the kernel side. I personally don't care if it means I can play a safe game. I don't really know what people are so paranoid about. You know what I mean? Like, they must wear like tinfoil helmets and shit because it just makes sense. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, and COD's probably hacked too, and they got Activision. I don't know what anti-cheat they use.
I mean, I was just wondering if it was because it was Web3. I feel like it's going to attract more hackers if they know that they can sell the objects or the assets that they steal on.
Oh, you're right. There's definitely more incentive to hack. I'd agree on that. Yeah.
So are you allowed to do transactions on the blockchain already on the games? I saw where you had to, or they wanted you to connect a companion app. Is that where you have the marketplace?
No. So right now it's kind of like when we did PFL. Remember in beta, where it was like, oh, we got these horses, but it's monopoly money. It's going to reset. You know what I mean? So right now, anything that you earn, like money-wise, you don't want to hang on to that guns token. Now they're going to give us they said they're going to give you a heads up, or give us a heads up on when they're going to reset it. Right. But basically, when the real economy goes live, they're going to reset all your guns tokens, and you're going to keep anything that you opened up. But I also read that they're going to reset the mint numbers. So all my single-digit, low double-digit mints are going to get absolutely fucking shredded, and I'm going to get like number 9,422.
Yeah, but that's what Big A told me too. Don't hold the guns token. Hold rare items instead.
Yep. Yeah, hold the items. But right now, like I said, playing it is all about, extracting hexes, trying to earn the token. Buy some of the rare weapons on the marketplace. Like there's like variants to the weapon. So you have like I like to use the commando, or the Commodore. I always say commando. It's the Commodore, I think. It's the assault rifle, but there's like a Commodore MR, which is like mid-range.
Okay,
So for my play style, I like to use more of like a scope, like I used to in SOCOM. Little 4x scope. This way, if they try to run away and they fly off, I'm like, nope, I got you, bitch.
Nice.
But once they get up close, I don't have to go to my ADS. I can just strafe out like I do in SOCOM third person, and it's a fast enough gun. But they make an MR variant. They make a close quarters variant. So those are the ones that people are buying. They're like, some of them actually sell for like 15,000, 20,000 guns token on PS5.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the market yet. That would be interesting. Let me catch up with the chat a little bit.
Yeah, definitely look at the market.
And Denny OC both agree with your take on the weed. So does Denny OC.
I'm going to run for politics, man. I'm going to run for office.
New York's a tough place. You got to go up against AOC. No, I'm just kidding. Gritty One says the reason for buffing Ukraine is to try and keep Putin out of Western countries. Must be nice to travel to DC and get a few billion every couple of months, though. Yeah, the amount of money we're giving them is absurd. And I do feel like if Trump wins, he's just going to, I don't know about give Ukraine to Russia, but he's definitely going to let Russia keep all the parts that they've already taken, like Crimea. I don't know if they've taken much more than Crimea, though, so is that even a big deal? Or is Putin going to want Trump to give him in the entirety of Ukraine? And if so, do they then go into Poland? What's next? I don't know, man. It's kind of a scary thought there. Woody says alcohol wrecks the body and the mind. I always said that alcohol is more addictive than weed. Cigarettes are more addictive than weed. Even fast food is more addictive and worse for your body than weed.
Mm-hmm.
C-Spill says, who is the guy?
Anything in moderation, right? Like,
That's
if
true,
you,
yes.
If you get addicted to anything and you have like an addictive personality like I do.
Me too.
It can get disastrous, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, 100%. It doesn't even have to be a substance. That could be like gambling or sex. Well, maybe not sex. C-Spell says, who is the guy who made the Puerto Rico comment? That was Tony Hinchcliffe.
God.
Kill Tony.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one, Mo? Just
God,
a joke?
it's like, why why? I mean, you really shouldn't be surprised that you invite a freaking roast comic.
Yeah, really.
But he just shouldn't have been there. He just shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, a lot of people, myself included, I think he's got some great material, but yeah, he just shouldn't have been there. That's a bad move.
It's kind of his thing, but yeah, it's not good for a political rally. It's not a good time for it. I agree with what you're saying. C-Spill says he's been watching Penguins this weekend, said it was pretty damn good. Everybody's saying Penguin is good. We were talking about it last week, I think.
It's great, dude. It's I would say Marvel for a second. It's a comic book Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
I love it. I can't get enough. It's so good.
Yeah, I might like that. Greedy One says it will be the 1939. I don't know what that is. Lebensraum? Is that some German? This looks like a German word. And 1939 was during the Great Depression, is when World War II started. Must have something to do with that. I'm not educated enough to get that reference. Dan K says PFL doing anything with the Breeders' Cup, Mo?
Yeah, they have some real life pick contests, I believe, that Bryce runs, where you can like make picks on the Breeders' Cup and win PFL horses. Dude, they've been doing so much giveaway stuff with that. Oh, really? And yeah, like even a buddy of mine, Troy, he started this Web3 radio, which is actually a brilliant idea. And now I feel like a dick because I told my boy Boxton, like last Christmas, he was like, maybe we should do a 24/7 streaming station where we just do like, you know, PFL stuff and Web3 stuff, and we just like lease out the channel.
That'd be cool.
I was like, nah. I'm like, that would be way too much work. But now this guy's actually killing it with a radio station.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it's actually not my buddy. It's just somebody else I know. And I'm like, shit, maybe I should have told my boy to do it. But yeah, so it's a pretty cool initiative. But yeah, so lots of giveaways. I'd probably say tune into the PFL Discord if you're not there already. You could probably just go into one of my streaming channels and just do !PFL and get the Discord if you want it.
Yeah, and follow them on Twitter as well. Pixel Pudding says,
follow them on Twitter.
Love Kill Tony, been watching him for years. People need to settle down. I know I watch a lot of the Kill Tony stuff. It's pretty good.
But you got to read the room too. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's just, you know.
Yeah, it's not the
piss
place
off a
for it.
demographic.
Funny,
you start, you know, like listen, George Lopez, and I saw people posting videos of like George Lopez where he did something, and he was like making like a Mexican joke or whatever
about them stealing.
Yeah, and it's like, and then people are like, well, it's okay because he's Mexican. Like, all right, cool, we get it. You know what I mean? And I don't really think like a time and a place. You know what I mean? Like, right. I don't think Kill Tony doing that bit or even being there in general was a place for him to be. That's just the bottom line in my opinion.
Yeah. He is the biggest podcaster in the world, though. Grady said, well, is he really bigger than Joe Rogan? They say he has,
Joe Rogan
has the most watched podcast in the world, or the most watched live stream in the world. It's something. I promise you. Grady one says, Lebensraum is a German word that translates to living space and refers to the idea that a country needs to expand its territory to thrive. Russia is the biggest country in the world, landmass-wise. Do they really need to stretch their legs? I don't know, man. I feel like they've stretched. They're good. Big A says
they're already in first class. What the hell?
Yeah, really. They added PC crossplay to Xbox. PC players that have been playing for 3 months with mouse and keyboard versus a box controller players that have been playing for 3 weeks. Oh, yeah. See, I could not be playing on my keyboard, especially a game like that.
They have mouse and keyboard playing against controllers? That's insane.
I guess they just added it. PC players that have been playing for 3 months with mouse and keyboard versus so for 3 months now, a box controller players that have been playing for 3 weeks. Yeah, that's not fair. I'm much better.
Yeah. It should be like Fortnite though, where like if you join a party and you're using controllers on PC, it puts you in controller lobbies, right?
Yeah.
Because I play a couple games of Off the Grid on PC. I hooked up my controller because I'm terrible with mouse and keyboard. And I actually had two wins I think out of maybe 15 games on PC with a controller.
Nice.
Only against mouse and keyboard players. But what I noticed was, man, when I think I'm getting away on PS5, I always get away. Where I take a little bit of damage. Bro, on PC, I was getting like 75% of my life gone before I turned the corner because everyone's so accurate with a mouse and keyboard.
Oh, you know what I mean? Okay. So what, you gotta like click on the person you're shooting with your mouse?
Yeah, that's why they say, you know, when you play a mouse and keyboard, it's like, just put it on his head and tap, stupid. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With a controller, it's like...
you gotta aim. No.
You gotta... And that's the funny meme, right? Where it's like you see somebody trying to do something with a controller. Oh, actually, that's what I wanted to bring up. That was two things we didn't really talk about. I wanted to talk about the Kill Tony thing. Did you see the walls, Kamala Harris fake playing NCAA or Madden. They're playing like a.
Haven't seen that.
The controller wasn't even on apparently.
Oh really? No, haven't seen that at all.
Apparently the controller wasn't even on.
Yeah, not surprised.
But that was funny. They were like sitting there and they were playing playing football.
They were fake playing.
Apparently, but when I saw it initially, I was like, this is awkward.
Yeah, even if they were really playing it, it's still like, what are y'all doing? That's kind of cringe. But I guess they want to appear young, juxtaposed against a 78-year-old man. Big A says, added today. Hope it won't last long. It's cancer. A bunch of people running around with 2-tap pistols. So it's the people with the keyboards that are crushing everybody. No, I wouldn't like that at all. Play test for PC started over 3 months ago. On Xbox, okay. Just started 3 weeks ago. Gotcha. Yeah, that's off the grid. It's coming along, and it could be, like I said earlier, the Trojan horse of NFTs into the gaming space. Once people,
I'm worried though.
What's that? What are you worried about?
I mean, I'm just saying. I feel like people have heard this 1,000 times, but dude, I've seen this so many times. Again, with the times that I've worked with EA, Redwood Studios or Ubisoft, right? Like, even like Roller Champions was like the last example, I guess. But like, that game was so well received when it came out. It was so much fun. But then they just stripped it of it at its core of the fun. And they listened to the bullshit complaints about people like, I don't think you should be able to hit the ceiling. Like, well, why don't you learn how to play the game? And you can hit the ceiling and have fun, because that's what made the game fun, right? Like flying around and dunking the thing, right? Like, the game just became a shell of its former self. But I feel like, dude, Off the Grid's going the same way. They came out with great updates. They were listening to the community. And now it's like, they're just making really bad decisions. And adding what Big A's talking about is a horrible decision, because that's going to make every freaking Xbox player just not want to play the game.
And those are the people you want, not the PC people. I mean, you need the console players, for real. That's the bigger chunk.
What they should have done is they should have taken the Xbox people and dumped them in with the PS5 people.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to be happening in the long run anyway, they said. So why the hell would they put them in the PC pool? That just makes no sense, man.
I don't like it either. Big A says there's an option to turn off Xbox controller light. Also, it's not very visible from side profile, so it may not be a smoking gun everyone claims. So apparently you could turn that light off. How would they know to do that? I didn't even know to do that. But then again, it's probably getting set up by some tech geek who knows how.
There might have been some delay on the game screen then, because the game feed that I saw, his like thumbs were barely even on the sticks. I've only been using the controller my entire life, but it didn't look weird. It did look weird. I mean, I'll go back and watch the Twitch stream or something and really diagnose it frame by frame.
Right.
But
I haven't seen it, so I can't say nothing about it. Let's get into a little bit of VV talk before we end the stream. Talking about the upcoming drops. Mo, were you around when they announced the first Kripkins drop?
No.
That was a long time ago. I think it's like June 2021, but... And I brought
that
this
was right before my time.
Yeah, I brought this up on stream on Saturday. I can bring it up real quick. Let's do VV Kripkins Medium. So if you go to the actual Medium article that came out on the drop week, there it is right here. It came out May 5th. That's when it was. May 5th, 2021. They announced all these NFTs that you see from the Kripkins set that are all on the app. Season 1, they've been there forever. But back then, that day when they announced it, their Medium article also included the Midnight Chupacabra. This is, like I said, May of 2021. And in the article, it says that it was going to be $14.99 and 2,800 editions. And it didn't show what it looked like or anything. And for some unknown reason, they never, ever dropped that Midnight Chupacabra after all this time. And now, all of a sudden, they're finally dropping the Midnight Chupacabra. I think it's kind of cool that they are holding true to their word on the edition sizes, 2,800, because that's what they originally said back in 2021 for the Midnight Chupacabra. But back then, that meant it was super scarce. The ultra rare of that set, the Cosmic Cthulhu, has 2,800 editions. It did say the list price back then was $14.99, and now it's just $14 even, which is a little weird. But they are finally dropping the Midnight Chupacabra at midnight, or maybe, I think, midnight Central Time. I think it'd be 1 a.m. Eastern Time. It's 10 a.m. Pacific Time, so it'd be 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay.
What the heck's up with that?
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's Midnight Chupacabra.
Is that midnight like in New Zealand or something?
Must be. That probably makes sense. I was going to say they should drop it at midnight. And then there's 2,800, so they're not going to sell out most likely. However, all unsold Midnight Chupacabra collectibles from the store will be burnt a week later, November 7th, at midnight Pacific time. Let's see what he says. I do like the Midnight Suns Mighties, but I'm still skipping Midnight Suns Mighties.
Yeah, the Mighties, man, just can't do it.
I'm not big on Mighties either. We have a Mighties drop getting ready to happen. It's an interesting
You're
one
gonna
too.
have gamification.
That's
Look,
what
they're
Dan Case-
built for games. They're built for games, guys.
There used to be such the biggest speculation that the Marvel Mighties were gonna have gamification. People still believe it. I mean, anything's possible. Maybe there'll be token unlocks. Dan K says Saturday could be profitable depending on what Wells do, and Sunday, Dory is the sleeper, holding to grab a few from Wells, buying a bunch to get the Nemo. I've looked over these drops a little bit. You might be right on Saturday. So yeah, the Midnight Chupacabra is one that's dropping Thursday, and then Thursday is also the VVverse reveal, and I might try to get home in time to stream the VVverse reveal. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, so we'll get to find out all the features and apparently a time frame for when we're going to have access to the VVverse. That's what they say.
If you'd like to roast it, I'll be in chat, so if you want to...
Let's go.
Maybe we could roast it together.
I'll try to be nice. Let's see. The drop on Saturday is a Marvel Mighties drop. Strange Tales Series 1. You got Moon Knight, which is not a first appearance. 15 gems is the list price. It is blind box. The commons have 2,600 editions. We got a first appearance Morbius. We got Werewolf by Night, which I don't know if I know who that dude is. He's an uncommon. Man-Thing looks crazy. I don't know what they're doing with his face here, but that's Man-Thing with the thing coming off his face. I know he has stuff dripping down his face, but this just looks like some type of three-legged caterpillar. I don't know. 16
like an elephant with syphilis or something on his trunk.
There's something growing on him. Then we got Elsa Bloodstone, who I only know from Marvel Snap. She's the ultra rare, 987 editions. Mephisto.
Who the hell is that?
Elsa Bloodstone.
Elsa Bloodstone?
Yeah, she's, like I said, I know her from Marvel Snap. Apparently she's from the Strange Tales series, which is like Doctor Strange and stuff. Mephisto is the secret rare, 444 editions. It's interactive. Probably be able to click and turn his fire or his eyes on. Looks like his eyes glow a little bit. And there's only 444 of those. But the interesting part is the Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is not a first appearance. Although I was wondering if it could be, since there are several different Ghost Riders. But apparently this one is not a first appearance. 111 editions, and this one you have to craft. So in order to craft, you got to hold the entire set. And all of the collectibles that you're holding to craft will get burnt. So the secret rare will be the bottleneck. There's 444 secret rares. Of course, if you were to go for the drop and get the secret rare on the drop, then I would probably go in and buy the rest of them out of the market and craft this Ghost Runner. There's only 111 of them. I feel like Ghost Rider could be, I don't even want to say 100. I feel like 100's too high these days, even though it's only 111 editions. Maybe 100, maybe 200. I don't know. Yeah, like Dan K says, Mephistos is the one to watch, either snipe right away or right after. Salty people don't get to craft. I was thinking maybe the strategy could be on this. As soon as the market opens, buy a whole bunch of the commons for super cheap. They're probably going to be going for 2 or 3 gems. And as people start to buy the whole sets, you know, somebody got an ultra rare on the drop, somebody got a rare on the drop, they're going to go buy the rest from the market. Those start to go up in price. I don't know if that many people are even going to be doing all that, since there's only 111 available to craft and only 444 Mephistos.
Is anybody going to care about that, or does just scarcity just reign supreme here?
Scarcity doesn't even matter that much anymore, honestly. Like, I got that Star Wars character. I mean, it's worth over 500, so I guess it matters a little bit. FA matters a lot these days, especially for big Marvel characters, but this one's not a FA. And we're going to talk a little bit about how much FA matters on the next drop. We're going to talk about Finding Nemo, because there's a big controversy on that one. There's only 111 of them. Maybe 100's too cheap. It is interactive. He's on a motorcycle, but it's a Marvel Mighty. Some people love him. I'm not a fan. Maybe it'll be worth 200, 250, maybe even more. So if it is, and you're able to go buy a Mephisto for, I don't know, 40, 50 gems, and then you can go buy all the rest of them for under retail, then you craft yourself a Ghost Rider and sell it. You could make a profit on that. It's going to cost a little bit.
I heard the secret rare was supposed to be She-Hulk, but they cut her out. Now she's upset.
Oh, really? She's always the
No,
bridesmaid.
no,
and
you hear about
everything.
that though?
No.
With so apparently she had 2 scenes in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie,
Oh, really?
but they were so bad and unbelievable that Ryan Reynolds was like, he demanded that they keep it legit to the Fox characters only.
Wow.
So not only did they cut her scenes out of the movie, they didn't put him in the director's cut, and they refused her request to put him in the special edition because they were just so bad.
Golly.
And yeah, so she is fucking pissed.
Is this confirmed?
Yeah, I was like seeing
that's
like
crazy.
the comments directly from her. Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. Dan Case thinking that Ghost Rider could be over 500. Why? I mean,
What?
compare that to the to my Star Wars droid with 88 editions. It's a little bit over 500. This one's not even an FA. I mean, you might be right. We saw what is it? Spider-Man Noir Spider-Man is a Marvel Mighty, and it's the most scarce Marvel Mighty at 88 editions, and I think it's at 3K floor price. See,
Spider-Man Noir is at least kind of cool. It's even a fun word to say.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't even know how to say it. Noir.
Spider-Man Noir.
Noir. See, Spill says our Marvel Mighties, the Beanie Babies of today, the digital Beanie Babies.
Oh please, where's Princess Di? Where's she at?
What's that?
You give me a Princess Di Marvel Mighty, I'm in.
Yeah, that would be kind of dope.
You remember those days? Did you know anybody that did the crazy Beanie Baby collecting, dude?
My grandma.
Yeah?
She would buy them. She had a whole bunch of them.
Bro, my friend's mother, my friend Liz, she was so gung-ho, but let me tell you, she made so much money. I'm pretty sure she bought the house that we used to hang out in with Beanie Baby money. And she like, oh, I'll pick you guys up, whatever, from the mall. She's like, but I gotta run to the store real quick. And dude, she would run into like every freaking Beanie Baby store and then every cards and gift shop on the way home.
Oh, yeah.
It was insane. But yeah, and I remember like the Princess Di Bear coming out and just being dragged all over the freaking town. It was nuts.
I do remember the whole princess. It wasn't even like a picture of Princess Di. It was like a teddy bear called the Princess Di teddy bear or something.
Yeah, it had like I think it was like a pink
Yeah.
rose or something on the chest or something.
Dan K is talking about Black Panther has 250 editions and it's at 620 gems and it's not even a first appearance. That's crazy. That's because it pumped really high at first when it first came out because it was the bottleneck for people who wanted to own all the Marvel Mighties. Now Spider-Man Noir is the bottleneck, so I'm surprised Black Panther hasn't gone down, but it went up so high that I think it was at like 2K or 3K itself. All right, and then the Sunday drop, and there's a little controversy behind this one, is Finding Nemo Series 1, Finding Nemo. It's going to be 22 gems, blind box, I'm guessing. We'll find out. The first common is kind of goofy, a coral reef, like a decoration. I don't know about all that.
My favorite one, bro. We could be doing the Tales from the Crypto live from the reef.
Underwater?
You know what I mean?
We have to have the underwater
Underwater.
voice. Much better at it than me. And then everybody's favorite sea turtle, Crush. I do like Crush. I wish they had his voice, though. Crush is going to be the uncommon. First appearance of Crush. Then we got Dory. First appearance Dory, 1,000 editions. That's the one Dane K is saying is the one to pick up. He might be right on that. The ultra rare is a diver's helmet. I don't even know why, but okay. It's a diver's helmet, 500 editions. And then the secret rare is Nemo himself, which people are upset. I want Nemo, and it's only 99 editions. It's going to be too expensive. But in my opinion, I think this is perfect because it's not the first appearance. So if you do love Nemo so much, you can go buy the first appearance. It's affordable. But this is for like the people who got some money, the collectors. There's only 99 of them, and they're holding 10 back. So only 89 available to the public. Nemo.
So, is the controversy the low edition size? 'Cause I'm curious, what?
Yeah, the low edition size for Nemo because they're like, I want to have Nemo too, but I'm not going to be able to afford it because it's going to be so expensive.
Now, this has no interactivity, no nothing.
Nada.
Damn.
And it's not
what-
first
what-
appearance.
Not first appearance. What did the other Nemo do? Do you have any interactivity?
Isn't
or?
it platinum? I think it's one of the platinum moments.
Oh, so I mean, this is like the first full-colored Nemo.
Exactly.
Oh, dude, this thing's gonna be insane.
Right?
I might have to go for this damn drop now.
It's 22 gems. I mean, hitting that on the drop would be pretty hard to do. But then again, you might get lucky. I don't even think the diver's helmet's going to do very good. Dory's going to probably be above retail, maybe around retail. And I think Dan K is thinking to buy that one as soon as the market opens for under 10. Maybe people are going to be selling for like 12, 15, and then it pumps to 20. And then there's a good point made here by Woody, the coral reef. You get mint number 420, then you got some coral reefer.
Oh man, that's the dream.
It's going to be worth some money. So yeah.
That's cool though, bro. See, I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Blackpink dropped, and I was like, damn, the only thing I'm interested in is the stage.
I agree with Dan K here. He's talking about the helmet, which is the ultra rare with 500 editions. I thought it was kind of goofy. It didn't really belong in there. He's like, there's so many characters. It could be Bruce the Shark, the teacher Stingray. I want Bruce the Shark. I liked him. Anything but a helmet. Yeah, I agree 100%. But then again, that could kind of be like an accessory. You could put it on your Todd Batman. Then you got a Batman that's ready to go underwater. I feel like Batman has some gadgets. If he wants to go underwater, he'll be all right. Dan K says 2100 Nemos and is sitting at 26 gems. That's the platinum one. Dory should be 30 plus easily. So I'll be scooping because his first appearance, I guess, is why you think it's going to be 30 plus. I don't know if I agree with that, but he's going to be scooping them up. Dan K is usually on the money. I might have to follow his lead on that one. C Spill says
I'm saying that Nemo's going for like 5K.
Yeah. You might be, well, 5K.
And that Nemo's going to be nuts.
I say 1K. If I had to predict right now, I'd say about 1K, but you might be right. Might be more around 2 to 5K. What?
Yeah, I actually don't know the landscape of the market, but I definitely don't. That's
Seems like my predictions are always too high these days.
apparently my cat heavily disagreed with my prediction.
So you don't make the cat mad. All right, so that's going to be Sunday's drop. It's blind box also. With 22 gems, I'm probably not going for this. It was like 10 gems, and I could gamble for a Nemo. I'd probably gamble it, but I might go for the Marvel Mighties. I wish I had enough gems to do the whole craft. Maybe I'll get lucky and hit the secret rare on the drop, and then craft a Ghost Rider. I don't know. Or I might just buy commons like I was talking about. As soon as the market opens, then try to flip them to people who want to craft. Bruin88 says,
I'm actually kind of cool with it though. I'm like, you know what? 22 gems. Maybe I get the reef.
yeah.
Maybe actually, you know what? The only one I'd be pissed off with is the turtle. And I'm a fan of turtles. I like Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael.
Do you remember Crush from the movie? He was cool, dude. He was the one like, dudes, jump on my back. I'll give you a ride.
So I don't know if my girl's watching or listening today, but the only time I've seen Little Nemo is when I was hanging out with some chick in Cali, and it was like late night at the bar type stuff. So I was just pretending to give a shit about the movie.
Right.
But I vaguely remember. Yeah, vaguely.
Well, I have a kid, so I've seen my favorite one is Penguins of Madagascar. That movie cracks me up. It's so funny, dude. I'm telling you. Smoke a little bit and watch Penguins of Madagascar. You won't stop laughing. It's so good. All right. Bruin88 says Russia wants the land to have a pipeline to go to Europe. Pipeline for what? Oil? I didn't know there was a oil speculation with that. I had no idea. Kryptoni says sentiment is good in VV right now. Yeah, well, we'll see what it's like after we have that Thursday showing of the VV-verse. Going to be a lot of people that are going to be clowning it no matter what it. I mean, you could be able to scale the walls with your Batman and people would still be finding things to complain about. So I don't know if I'm going to be impressed with it or not. I do want to live stream it though. If I can get home in time, I'm going to go ahead and like make the thumbnail and everything before, the day before, and try to live stream because I want to see everybody else's reaction. I can't even talk in the chat of the VV YouTube anymore, so I have to live stream it because I can't participate over there. Stan says Red Dawn.
Being censored, bro. Enough.
Sell the droid, then flip the weekend. I know, maybe I should sell my droid. I thought it was going to go up, man. There's only 88 editions.
These are not the droids people are looking for.
These are not, unfortunately, these are not the droids. If it was anything else with 88 editions, all the whales would be stacking it. They'd have their own little secret groups for it. But since it's something I got on the drop, no.
How many X-Men logos were there?
1939. No, maybe 1963.
Can you imagine the price of that if there was 93 of those?
If there are only 93 of those? Or only, yeah.
Whatever year the cartoon came out in the 90s.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, it would probably be way up there.
That would have been sick. That's a cool logo, man.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been buying those for 20 gems because that's the floor price around 20 gems right now, hoping that it does the same thing that the Marvel logo did because the Marvel logo pumped to 200. Then everybody started these groups, and now I think it's down to under 100. which means a little bit of a pump and dump might have happened, but I'm not paying attention to who's buying and selling, so I don't know for sure.
I mean, if everybody's creating exclusive groups, they no longer become meaningful.
We definitely did that back during the bull run. I was in a group for Jake the Dog. That was a big group. They had a roadmap. I bought one for like 200.
Yeah, but back then, bro, it was all fucking rainbows, and everybody was in the best mood every day, waking up, tapping screens, making thousands. You know what I mean?
Yes, those were the good days. Good old days. Everybody's
a little trickier nowadays.
Nope.
But it's like, oh, okay, you want me to buy this $7 freaking logo to get in your stupid Telegram group?
If
Come
we
on,
can
bro.
get back to that, maybe LeBron, because people were talking in the chat too about how LeBron tweeted something about how he's looking to buy some comics, and a bunch of people from VV, of course, were in there. But imagine LeBron announced that he's buying VV stuff, and then we had a huge influx of users, and we went back to those days to where every drop sold out 1 second after the drop began, and everything was profitable. That'd be nice. And
that would actually be sick. Yeah. And not only would we get the NBA community, now we'd also get the G League community, because that's where Bronny James is heading back to. You see that?
No, I didn't know. Is it official?
Yeah, so I mean, I think from what the team was saying.
Yeah, I know
they changed their mind.
Him and his dad checked in at the same time and were officially the first ever son and father duo to be playing NBA on the court at the same time and for the same team, which was pretty sick. But apparently,
I do think that was one of the coolest things just to see that happen. But then apparently, like, he said something to one of the other dudes on the Lakers. I don't know what their names. But he said something to him, and he was like, next time pass the ball to my dad or something. That's what, like, created, like, some bullshit. But I don't think the plan was to keep him on the main roster.
Nah.
I just think they figured, like, just in case LeBron gets hurt,
right.
You don't want to not have Bronny there and get that moment on the court, right? Like,
yeah, LeBron got you a championship. You can fulfill his little dream that he has. So absolutely. Hopefully, LeBron James, will spend a couple years getting better. He kind of came out a little too early, but he might end up being the next LeBron.
Yeah, but I mean, this dude got a lot of hype.
Yeah.
For was he a second round pick or some shit?
Yeah.
Like even my boy was like, he loves basketball. He's like, bro, if this was anybody else's kid, whatever, it's like nobody would give a shit. You know what I mean? But and I'm like, yeah, true, but like you just said, I think LeBron kind of earned it.
Yes.
I think I still don't think he's better than the GOAT, Jordan or Kobe, but I still think he's in the conversation. You know what I mean?
Me and my son argue about who's the GOAT. LeBron, he says LeBron, I say Jordan. That's like our daily argument. Stan says, is there a metaverse standard we should look for to rate the VVverse rollout? I don't know what's good or bad. I mean, the only other real metaverses that have ever been around out there was like Sandbox, and there were some other ones that I even messed around with a little bit. The ones that were like selling land, Earth 2 or Earth 3, whatever it is. None of them were impressive at all anyway, but this isn't really a metaverse. It's just going to be an extended showroom. However, it's interactive now. You can bring people to your showroom. I don't know what all the features are. What's it going to take to impress you on the VVverse intro that we see on Thursday?
Well, I think for me, I want to see, and again, I don't know how deep they're going to go into it, but at its core, if it's going to be Showroom 2.0, I want to see controls that are contextual that make sense. Okay?
Right.
Like, now on the app, or when I used to be able to do it on the website for like a week before they turned it off, like, try to grab something and put it behind something or in a certain spot, and you can never get to it again because, like, the one in front of it's in the way.
Yes, I've
and
had
it
that
just
problem.
becomes like, yeah, and it's like, okay, well, let me make it the size I want. Now I'm going to pull it all the way out of the skybox, and I'm going to put it 1,000 feet above the scene, and now I got to hope that I can scroll back out and get it later on.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many freaking polar bears I lost doing that shit, trying to make my Christmas scene, but I digress. But yes, I want tight controls. I want it to be fluid. It better not be like some choppy mess. And if they're going to have some sort of like I don't say multiplayer, but like, if you're gonna see somebody else walking around in the VVverse, make it look good. You know what I mean? Don't make it like they're teleporting all over the place. Their feet are, 10 feet off the ground and shit. Like, if that's the case, don't even make them visible. Let people show up and be like a ghost. Yeah,
and I think in that little preview that we saw the other day, there were 2 people in the showroom. So I don't know how they're gonna look moving around, but I think that is something that is going to be one of the features that are available as soon as it rolls out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if they, as long as it's clean and doesn't look like the first showing that they did of the BB-verse. But then again, that was a different platform, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean, it was through Oculus Quest, so.
No, but I think that wasn't on the Cavernous, was it?
No.
Did they swap?
I don't know.
I could have sworn they swapped after that disastrous show. I could be wrong on that, but yeah. So I'm just hoping that it just runs good.
Me too.
You know?
Yeah,
Hey,
it's smooth.
From what I saw, you could put the lights, you could change the colors, you could do some, some movement. I
think
guess
you can even make it programmable, like you said, a little bit of scripting.
Yeah, but then what can you do with the scripting? Like,
I don't know yet.
can I go into the scripted moving? Let's say I take the turtle, I get lucky and I get the turtle, and I make them fly back and forth, and I'm like, okay, well, let's put 20 turtles going at different speeds back and forth, and if you can avoid them, almost like a Frogger type shit,
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I like that.
But put in the script, like if object hits player.
I doubt they're gonna let you do all that. It'd be nice if they did.
It's crazy because it's actually so basic from like a language level, but it's like if A touches B, then C equals reset player back to beginning sequence. Like it's, you know what I mean? And when it comes like scripting, it's like anybody in this room that codes most, they're probably like, oh, Moses knows what the hell he's talking about probably. But
they used to talk about
true.
that. They said you should start learning, I think it was Python. You should start learning Python a little bit because it's going to have scripting, which I know a little bit of Python, so I hope that is the case. Shout out to OG Simone's in the chat looking for somebody to buy her Ghost Bear. It's the lowest mint available and only 15 gems above floor. I'm surprised that hasn't sold yet. Usually that was last mints sell really fast. Interesting. That might be a good deal for anybody who's interested. Denny OC's son has city finals tomorrow from football. He actually played in my old high school. Man, you must live in a big city. You have city finals? We have like semi-state
I've been tracking.
Finals. What's that?
Danny Jr., bro. I've been tracking the progress of the.
Yes, yeah, I've been seeing tweets
games,
about
bro.
it. He's been crushing it. He's really good.
Yo, this kid's huge, bro.
Yes, I was saying that too. He's twice as big as Denny.
Man, I'm like, yo, if I was in high school and I saw people like that coming after me, I mean, I didn't play football to begin with, but oof, that's a big boy.
It's a big boy. That's what you don't want to see coming off of the other team's bus when they pull up. Shout out to Greedy One, says that it was great, the father and son moment. Tone Bud said it was bought and paid for, which is,
hard work from
earned.
LeBron James. Not only on the court, but in the bedroom. He had to make that kid.
Right, okay, yeah. What he says, no matter who you vote for on Tuesday, which is a week from today, make sure you vote. Exercise your right to vote. Even if you go in there and you don't want to vote for Trump and you don't want to vote for Kamala, just go down to where it says write in your own candidate and write out MoKnowz with a Z at the end. If we can get enough MoKnowz write-ins, you never know. We might have President MoKnowz.
I'll bring you on as the VP, of course.
Let's go.
Vault president.
Then I'll have you assassinated. I'm taking over. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Daniel C says, crazy thing, he's not even close to being the biggest one out there. Yeah, you must be in a big city. They got some superstars out there. OG, what do you feel? What do you feed your kid? Thanks. What do I feed my kid? I'm not a good chef at all. I do make chili. My chili's good. Let's see. Chili. Sometimes we do like TV dinners. After.
You guys still on the air fryer kick?
Not so much. Every once in a while we'll get this chicken that we make in the air fryer. I don't like doing like fries, and he doesn't really like tater tots or anything. He won't eat no junk food hardly at all. So I mean, it's mostly he loves like chicken. I make chicken and hamburger helper. We do a lot of hamburger helper.
Yo, hamburger helper is dope, dude. Hamburger helper with I put that shit on just hamburger rolls.
Oh yeah.
And you like do like a burger? It's so good, man.
Yeah, I should do it. It just made me think of sloppy Joe. My mom used to make sloppy Joe all the time and just put it on the burger bun.
That's exactly what we do. Like, yep.
Hey,
Oh, you bro, give it a shot. Pick up a thing of like hamburger rolls next time you guys are gonna have it.
Yep.
I'm telling you, you might never go back. And what's cool about it, if you're like me, you want to be lazy, you make it in the one pan, right?
Right.
And then you grab like a paper towel or something. You just put the hamburger roll right on there, and then when you eat it, you got no plates. There's no cleanup.
True.
You just gotta clean the main dish that you made it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes we use paper plates, so I don't have to worry about doing dishes.
Paper plates too. That's what I live on.
But now he does the dishes for $10 every couple of weeks, so that works.
You save $10 every couple of weeks.
For sure.
Might hurt. It might hurt his pocket, but tell him he was replaced by AI.
We were talking about the other day. He's like, is AI going to take like all the jobs? And I was like, basically yes. I told him he needs to major in finance or learn how to fix robots.
Pretty much.
Basically.
But yeah, no, it's yeah, the hamburger help is dope. Now I want some hamburger help. Damn.
I don't know what we're making for dinner tonight. I haven't even thought about that yet. But it's about time to end the stream. We've been live for a couple hours. This is our Tales from the Crypto stream that we do every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like me and Greedy me and Mo were talking about a minute ago, we might just do something where we're just hanging out and watching the results come in next week, because next Tuesday is election day. So I don't think there's anything going on with PFL. So we might be live and just looking at results and talking about what we see. What do you think about that, Mo, next week?
I'm down, brother. Said I'm gonna be hanging out, just watching the polls come in anyway. So, again, we're not gonna have a decisive answer, by the time the stream ends.
But I'm sure there's gonna be some exciting stuff going on in those 2 hours. We're gonna hear lots of conspiracies going on. Who's cheating and who's not cheating. And and I'll also be live this weekend. As you saw earlier, we got Sunday Finding Nemo. Saturday we got the Marvel Mighties drop. I'll be live streaming those drops. And Mo, what are you doing this week? Anything special?
No, it's breeding week. I'm not really breeding too heavy this month. Kind of trimming the fat, so to speak. I kind of have a lot of upgraded fillies on all my lower end stuff, so I'm kind of just waiting for them to retire, see what the grades are. But yeah, other than that, man, we got show Friday night after dark and then Saturday. But other than that, man, I look forward to this show. This is it's crazy. Yeah, 2 hours goes by so quick.
It's fun. It's enjoyable to sit here and hang out with you, Mo, and hang out with everybody in the chat, read your guys' comments, get your opinions, let you clown me for my political beliefs, which I know I'm 100% right. So in reality, you're really just clowning yourself, as your grandchildren will see this one day, what you were saying and being like, what was he thinking? I don't know. That's how I see it. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see y'all next Tuesday. Later, everybody.